हाउ डज इट फील कि आप जमीन पे खड़े हो अभी एंड विद इन फ्यू मिनट्स एकदम से आप जीरो ग्रेविटी में हो?
We also went from 0 kilometers per hour to 28,500 kilometers per hour. So 8.5 minutes में we were in orbit. That is the kind of speed that you navigate in the capsule. Your chest is compressed, your lungs are compressed, so you cannot actively breathe through your lungs. You have to breathe through your stomach. Your head gets pushed back. Your eyes feel as if they are going inside. ये सारे forces जो आपको feel होते हैं.
स्पेस सिकनेस नहीं होती?
First few things that happen to you is the blood from your legs, it goes up to your head. Your head actually swells up, it becomes bigger, and your heart doesn't have to pump blood against gravity to your head, so it actually shrinks, it reduces in size. You grow taller in space because your spine decompresses, so you grow in height. So when that happens, your back pains.
Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla, test pilot, astronaut, and the first Indian to reach the International Space Station. In this episode, he breaks down rocket science like you've never heard it before. Another thing, when you're up there, the technology is insane कि हर चीज recycle होती है. So your urine also recycles?
Yeah, 98% of the water is recycled on station.
Space से कैसे दिखता है इंडिया?
Definitely looks beautiful. It stands out. You see the tip of the country, fully bright, lighted up. Identify Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune, Delhi. All these cities you can make out. You can make out India-Bangladesh border. And this was something extremely emotional. Tears had come, and so I started doing this. Wiping. All dry, nothing. Because tears don't fall in space. So when you cry, they just accumulate in your eyes.
जब आप स्पेस सूट में जाते हो, आपके सूट में क्या क्या होता है?
हम जो सूट पहन के जाते हैं दैट इज नोन एज दी IVA सूट. कि जो IVA सूट है करीब 16 से 18 kg के बीच का होता है जो हम लोग पहनते हैं अंदर. द EVA सूट, जब व्हेन यू गेट आउट ऑफ द स्टेशन देयर इज नो प्रोटेक्टिव शेल अराउंड यू. दैट EVA सूट इज योर स्पेसशिप. सो द EVA सूट हैज टू हैव ऑल द सिस्टम्स फॉर यू टू सस्टेन लाइफ. सो द EVA सूट का वेट होता है इट्स अराउंड 120 to 140 kg.
Mentally, how do you prepare yourself for this whole thing? कुछ भी हो सकता है. One little thing and I'm gone. If you have found anything valuable from this channel, please subscribe. It's free, it takes less than a minute, but it means a lot to us. And to listen to the audio experience of this episode, please follow us on Spotify. When your workload gets heavy, you have multiple files open, have big tasks running in the background, you need a laptop that keeps up with you, because even a little lag can slow you down. That's why I use the ASUS ExpertBook Ultra. It's an AI PC that comes with up to 180 total platform tops along with built-in Copilot plus AI functionality, so you get smooth, worry-free performance no matter how heavy the work gets. Its CPU, GPU and NPU all work together, which means faster performance even when you're on the go. So whether you're traveling, switching between tasks or handling something important, the laptop keeps up with you. It's fast, reliable and built for people who don't want to slow down. The ASUS ExpertBook is available on Flipkart. Check the link in the description below. Explain me like I'm a kid and मुझे कुछ नहीं पता रॉकेट साइंस के बारे में. मुझे बेसिक लेवल में बताओ कि रॉकेट होता कैसे है, उसमें रॉकेट साइंस क्या होता है, क्यों वो ऊपर चले जाता है, ऊपर जाके वो छूटता कैसे है, फिर ऊपर से आपकी कैप्सूल पे जब अब उसके बाद कोई रॉकेट नहीं तो उड़ती कैसे हो, फिर आप स्पेस स्टेशन तक पहुंचते कैसे हो, लाइक व्हाट इज दिस?
सो स्पेस में पहुंचने के लिए बेसिकली आपको रॉकेट चाहिए बिकॉज यू नीड टू गो अप. एक तो ऊपर जाना है आउटसाइड द एटमॉस्फेयर ऑफ द अर्थ. लेट्स से हम 400 किलोमीटर पे ISS है तो वहाँ पहुँचना है. और ऑल्सो आपको स्पीड चाहिए बहुत ज़्यादा. वो स्पीड क्यों चाहिए वो मैं थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ कि ग्रेविटी एज अ फोर्स ना हर जगह है यूनिवर्स में. ऐसा नहीं है कि कहीं भी नहीं है. एवरीवेयर इट इज देयर. द क्लोजर यू आर टू अ मास, सेंटर ऑफ मास, उतना ज़्यादा ग्रेविटी है. उससे दूर जाएंगे तो कम है. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि 400 किलोमीटर की हाइट पे ग्रेविटी नहीं है. ग्रेविटी इज स्टिल देयर. You just don't experience it because you are falling around the earth. Now, to be in space, why do you need speed? I will explain that. मैं समझाता हूँ. So ये बड़ा अच्छा thought experiment है न्यूटन का. When he came up with this concept. If you are standing on North Pole of Earth, आप अगर ऊपर खड़े हैं and you throw a ball. So when you throw a ball, वो थोड़ी दूर जाके it will fall down, right? If you throw it with faster speed, it will go slightly farther and then fall down and hit the earth. If you throw it with even faster speed, you know, थोड़ा और horizontally दूर जाएगी and then it will fall down on the ground. If you can throw it, you know, with very high speed, so that, you know, the rate at which it is traveling forward and the rate at which it is falling, अगर वो अर्थ की कर्वेचर को मैच कर जाए, so it will keep falling, but it will never touch the surface of the earth.
मतलब तेजी से जाते ही गिरते ही
गिर रही है, लेकिन वो कर्वेचर मैच कर रही है. सो वो लगातार
गोल घूम रही है,
गिर रही है,
काइंड ऑफ गोल घूमती रहेगी ना,
घूमती रहेगी वो, बिकॉज इट इज ऑलवेज फॉलिंग एंड इट हैज अटेन्ड दैट स्पीड. दैट इज व्हाट अ सैटेलाइट इज, दैट इज व्हाट अ स्पेस ऑब्जेक्ट इज. तो आपको ऊपर ही नहीं जाना है, आपको उतनी तेज भी जाना है, सो दैट व्हेन यू रीच देयर you are able to match this and you continuously you are in a free fall. So that is why it is said कि जितने भी objects हैं they are always in a free fall around the earth. So ये orbit है, this is what is orbit. So ये attain करना है, so आपको ऊपर भी जाना है और उतनी speed भी attain करनी है. So इसके लिए you need energy and energy is given through a rocket. So rocket takes massive amount of fuel और वो ignite करके वो generate करता है और आपको accelerate करता है. And once you attain that speed, जब आप पहुंच जाते हैं उसके object पे, so that stage shuts off, the engine cuts off और वो separate हो जाता है. Because now it is only added mass, now it is not doing anything. So now the object which you have, the spacecraft or the capsule, it has attained that velocity and altitude, it will continue to move around. This also has a small propulsion system inside for, you know, maneuvering in space, जिसमें बहुत ज़्यादा फ्यूल नहीं लगता है, तो उसके लिए उसके खुद का एक छोटा सा propulsion system भी होता है.
ठीक है.
So now it is able to sustain itself when it is there. That
क्योंकि वो गिर ही रहा है permanent.
It will always keep falling.
But then फिर वहाँ से आप space station कैसे पहुँचते हो?
So that is the next step. So once you have attained this orbit, you are in orbit. Now आपकी जितनी भी मनूवरिंग है वो ऑर्बिटल मनूवरिंग के क्लास. मनूवरिंग
मतलब ड्राइविंग, कि उसको कहाँ पे
मतलब
ड्राइविंग है ना, कि उसको ड्राइव करना है, डायरेक्शन दिखाना है.
यस. नाउ अब इट इज वेरी डिफरेंट फ्रॉम जो हमने जो कुछ भी सीखा है अभी तक. तो रोड पे ड्राइविंग, फिर फ्लाइंग ऑल्सो इन एयर इज वेरी डिफरेंट एंड दिस मनूवरिंग इज वेरी डिफरेंट. ये बहुत अलग है. सो द क्लोजर यू आर टू अर्थ, जितना आप पास में है उतना आप फास्ट आपकी स्पीड होगी. द फार्दर यू गो द स्लोअर यू विल मूव, आप उतना धीमे आप मूव करेंगे. एंड ऑर्बिट में अलग अलग पॉइंट्स होते हैं. जब आप अपना अगर प्रोपल्शन सिस्टम एक्टिवेट करें, सो यू विल गेट अ थ्रस्ट एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट थ्रस्ट, लेट्स से यू आर गोइंग अराउंड दिस एंड एट दिस पॉइंट यू डिसाइड टू बर्न, सो योर ऑर्बिट साइज विल इंक्रीज, योर ऑल्टीट्यूड विल इंक्रीज, यू नो, सो यू विल गो हायर. So this is what is done when you are going to dock. Let's say ISS is at 424 और आपका इंजेक्शन हुआ था 200 किलोमीटर्स के आसपास. So you will figure out what is the best time and then you will burn and gradually increase your altitude, go closer to the ISS, and then from there it is active control. You know, you are constantly firing thrusters, aligning and then going and slightly going and docking to the ISS. So yeah, so it is complex, you know, the orbital maneuvering, but ये steps में.
And then फिर वो dock कैसे होता है? Is it automatic कि आप कुछ manual करते हो to actually dock yourself there? कि is it some kind of magnet कि वो end में फिर वो पास में चले जाते हो तो वो attract कर लेगा? Like what is it?
It's not a magnet. So docking को अगर explain करें तो अगर आप when you are far parking, yeah, something like that.
Sort of parking.
Yeah, but not exactly parking, because parking में you slow down when you come, right? Okay. Yeah. यहाँ पे if you are driving on a road, let's say you are driving on a 10-lane highway, you know, when you are, आप जब दूर है ISS से, बहुत फ्रीडम है, इधर उधर जा सकते हैं, your speed can vary, not a problem. But then as you come closer to ISS, it becomes a 6-lane highway. You know? फिर उसके बाद आप उसका जो डॉकिंग पोर्ट है उससे जब अलाइन कर जाते हैं, becomes a 2-lane highway. फिर as you reach, let's say about 20 meters, becomes a single lane highway. Your margins keep getting tightened. वो कम होते चले जाते हैं. And the final stages, the margin is in centimeters per second. Not even meters per second. You know, that is how slowly you move closer to the ISS. And with this motion, there एक बहुत ही sophisticated system होता है डॉकिंग का, soft capture, hard capture करके होता है. But उसमें एक probe होता है, it goes and attaches to the accepting mechanism. एक बार वो lock हो जाता है, this soft docking, once this gets locked, ये थोड़ा flexible है. And now this system itself, it is not a magnet, लेकिन एक motor है जो कि इन दोनों को आपस में pull करता है. No, so you're not actively using thrusters, but वो जो motor है वो दोनों को pull करके and then it brings them together. So that is how it happens. Because imagine both of them are moving at around 7.6 kilometers per second. उस speed पे आप चल रहे हैं और आपको you have to come and align with that centimeters precision together.
And then once you lock, like precision से वो आ गए.
जब वो आपने एक बार contact हो गया, so the mechanism now pulls it together. Both.
Okay.
So obviously station is much heavy, so it doesn't come. It pulls the capsule closer, and जब वो lock हो जाता है, then there are bolts all around which go out readily and keeps the capsule in place.
And that control is in your hand.
No. The backup is always is in our hand. The entire process is automated. But for every step, everywhere, there is a possibility of the pilot or the commander stopping it, moving back, taking over control. And if something is not happening as what it is supposed to.
Okay. So from ज़मीन से जो लॉन्च होते हो वहाँ डॉकिंग तक सब ऑटोमेटिक होता है.
Everything is automated.
अगर कहीं पे कुछ रॉन्ग हो तो देन यू कैन जस्ट मैन्युअली ट्वीक इट सो दैट आप अपने प्लान के अकॉर्डिंग ही चल रहे हो.
There may be a tweak required, there may be a takeover required, there may be something completely different required. It is not known. So that is why the majority of the training is for these scenarios. It is not nominally अगर सब कुछ चल रहा है तो you don't
automatically you will reach there.
But the training happens for this. That what will you do when something goes wrong? Yes.
So अब जो ये tweak करके आप वहाँ पहुँच गए automatically, वो automatic ही फिर boulders लगा के strong करके इसको connect कर देगा. Like some forces के through वो close लेके आएगा.
Motor है. It starts winding, so it brings them closer. Now the surfaces are in contact. दोनों आपस में touch कर रहे हैं. और once that happens, so outwards की तरफ there are bolts. So they will go out and they will lock. If all
ये भी automatic होगा.
हाँ, if all 12 of them lock, it's successful. If they don't lock, then your manual intervention comes in. Now what to do? Now whether we go out, go back, we try once again, or we do something else to make it happen. That is what is required.
Wow. How does it feel कि आप you're like this, ज़मीन पे खड़े हो अभी ऐसे, and within few minutes ऐसे stand खड़े और एकदम से आप zero gravity में हो तो body पूरी change नहीं हो जाती? Like does it feel different?
Oh yes, it feels a lot different, and even the जो transit भी है वो भी बहुत कमाल का है, because the force that you experience, the sheer energy that is required to take you. So 8.5 minutes में we were in orbit, from the time of launch. And so in 8.5 minutes, it is, when I say we are in orbit, it's just a statement. But when I tell you that in 8.5 minutes, we went from 0 kilometers of altitude to 200 kilometers. We also went from 0 kilometers per hour to 28,500 kilometers per hour. That is the kind of speed that you navigate, right? It is a lot. वो बाहर से, when I've also seen rocket launch, it doesn't look like it is fast, but it is phenomenally fast.
So what happens is acceleration 28,000 kilometer per hour is like शायद 20 बार बॉम्बे दिल्ली या maybe more. Right? 8 मिनट में आपने बॉम्बे दिल्ली 20 बार कर लिया, like this, something like that. It's
if you give an analogy,
it's that intense.
Yes, it is intense.
28,500 kilometers per hour. अगर आपकी बॉडी उस स्पीड में जा रही है तो क्या होता है? ब्रेन आप देख पाते हो? लाइक इज योर आईज लाइक आर योर आईज ओपन? डज योर ब्रेन लैक? क्या होता है?
सो एक्सेलरेशन इज वेयर द फोर्स इज फेल्ट, जहाँ पे आपकी बॉडी फील करती है वो फोर्सेस. सो you start building up 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, and you go up to 5G के आसपास का maximum figure is what you are supposed to experience. But 5G means that you are lying on your back in the capsule. So it is being felt on your chest. So it is as if somebody is pushing you back in your seat. Your chest is compressed, your lungs are compressed. So you cannot actively breathe through your lungs. You have to breathe through your stomach, जिसकी मतलब ट्रेनिंग होती है जो हम लोग प्रैक्टिस भी करते हैं ग्राउंड पे. Your head gets pushed back. Your eyes feel as if they are going inside. ये सारे forces जो positive acceleration की वजह से आपको feel होते हैं. Now उस time पे if you have to press a button, you have to raise your hand against the G. So your hand, which normally you can raise conveniently, but under 5G it becomes 5 times heavier. So it takes that much of effort to just raise your hand and take it to a particular button and operate it. So all these are things that are practice, that are trained, you are taught, but you live through that, and then you eventually land up in space. And also this is not the worst possible case. The worst possible case would be if something goes wrong during launch and you have to abort. And during abort, in the worst case scenario, I'm talking about 5G, your body may be experienced to 18 Gs. So that is what is going to be something significant. It is at 18 Gs. If I may give an analogy, which I've tried to put in the book as well, that it feels like a baby. It would be akin to a baby elephant sitting on your chest. That is the kind of force you would feel. So it is not for a long time, it is for a short duration only, but you will be exposed to that kind.
And उस force में आपको mind clear रख के operate करना होता है.
You should be, ideally that is how your condition should be, if that happens. But since it is for a very short duration, even if it passes, then you come back and then you do things. But yes, your ability to function under such conditions should be retained. That is what the aim is of the training as well.
And something happens to you here.
We have a fluid, और orientation triad जो है उसकी वजह से inner ear में there is a fluid that governs our sense of balance and orientation and everything, and it is susceptible to these inertia, momentum जो भी है. So ये शुरुआत तो लॉन्च के टाइम पे होती है, because there are 2 stages. जैसे फर्स्ट स्टेज कट ऑफ होती है, तो फॉर अ ब्रीफ पीरियड आप अगर लेट्स से 2.5 G पे हैं and suddenly that cut off happens, so you come back from 2.5 G to just 1 G, or maybe the minimal G that you are experiencing, lesser than 1 G also, because you are kind of falling at that stage. There is no force on you, so the fluid, it goes sloshing in your ear. So the feeling that I remember I got when this happened was that as if I'm tumbling, I'm somersaulting and I'm going forward. Balki I'm strapped in my seat, I'm sitting there, but this is a very strong feeling that you get, that you are kind of tumbling forward and going. Same thing happens when you reach space, because वहाँ पे पहुँचने के बाद में it's a slightly different mechanism that happens. But if I may put it, कि there are hair like follicles in एक otolith organ होता है इसी triad में हमारे, जो कि vertical रहते हैं because of gravity. Now because gravity is not experienced, they become horizontal, so your datum changes. So you feel the conflict of orientation का थोड़ी देर के लिए, you always feel that, and because of that conflict there are symptoms like nausea, headache. All of that is experienced when you arrive in space.
So you get disoriented. There is no sense of direction in space per se. There is no up or down, there is no left right. You cannot, unless and until there is some visual cue. If everything is same all around you and I tell you to close your eyes and rotate you and you open your eyes, there is no way you can tell that what is up, what is down. There is no possible way to tell it. It's just not. So when all of this happens, there's no way, no direction, समझ नहीं आ रहा है, तो space sickness नहीं होती?
This is what happens in the initial few days. There is a lot of space sickness.
आपको हुई थी?
Yes, everybody gets it. To what degree? It may be different from
क्या हुआ
body to body. The first thing, see, our bodies, we have always evolved in this environment of gravity. We have never seen in this without gravity anything. So first few things that happen to you is, one, I've talked about the orientation, the fluid in the ear, but the blood from your legs, it goes up to your head. Your head actually swells up. It becomes bigger.
It's like physically you can see.
If you look at my images when I was speaking to the Honorable Prime Minister from space, that was I think 2nd or 3rd day, you would see my face is actually swollen, a puffy, it feels
तो चेहरा फूल जाता है, सूज जाता है, because full blood is here.
Yes, the fluid shift happens, and your heart doesn't have to pump blood against gravity to your head. यहाँ तो it is working against gravity to send blood to your head. वहाँ पे it doesn't have to. So it actually shrinks. It reduces in size by 10 to 15%, depending on how long you have been there, but it reduces in size when you are in space. तो सर बड़ा हो जाता है और दिल छोटा हो जाता है. The worst possible combination that you can think of. But this is what happens physiologically when you arrive in space.
And then do you feel vomiting? Yeah.
Yes. So again, because of the sensory conflict, your eyes are seeing something, your ears are feeling something, your proprioceptors are feeling something else. There is a sensory conflict. So you have headache, you have kind of nausea. Degree may be different. You know,
Okay.
every body is different. So how much you feel, it may be different. But there is a sense you become slow. There is a sense
Overall.
of confusion, which is always there in the initial few days, that you become slow at things. At least that is what my personal experience was. That
You became slow?
I became slow. Even the things that I knew how to do, I was deliberately, taking my time to do those things in the first few days.
And as simple as, let's say, just picking up a cup.
Yeah, everything. So, if I'm realizing it consciously, that means that I'm, not
obviously.
Yes, so that is what my experience was.
Did you
It happens.
puke?
No, I didn't puke. Didn't reach that stage.
But there was full time, there was the sensation.
Not so. Going up for me was slightly more as opposed to coming down. Both ways it happens. When you come back on earth also the same thing happens. But going up was slightly, probably a bit more, but not a lot, One thing I do remember, there was an urge for me to puke. But यहाँ पे क्या होता है on earth that, it builds up gradually. That urge to puke. Let's say if you are getting motion sick or for some reason, so you will feel something, and then headache hoga, फिर then nausea hoga. Gradually it will build up to a place wherein then आपको लगेगा कि you want to puke. I do remember it was sudden. All of a sudden I felt like puking. I took out my puke bag, but then that urge just went. Immediately it went. So this was the difference that I felt from Earth. That it is not a gradual build-up. It happens suddenly, quickly. But I didn't end up puking.
See, another thing when you're up there, right? वहाँ पे the technology is insane कि हर चीज recycle होती है.
Yes.
तो वो जो moisture होता है, sweat होता है, blood होता है, like any little thing which is out there, वो recycle हो जाता है, right? So your urine also recycles?
Yeah. Almost, when all the systems are working on station, 98% of the water is recycled on station. That is what the figure is. So there's a very humorous saying also station पे है कि yesterday's coffee is tomorrow's coffee. So it always finds a way back to your cup. So
or maybe yesterday's urine is tomorrow's coffee.
It is implied,
Literally, this becomes true.
It becomes true because it is being reclaimed. But obviously, it is safe enough to drink, and that is why it is happening. But it is shown to be proven. It can be done. So that happened.
And what is this filtration process?
It is very involved. The biggest challenge I think is to collection of moisture from the various places on the station. But I will tell you something interesting. And that is the sweat and tears. So tears wala thing happened to me when the first time, I had not had the schedule is also very busy on station, and I had not had a chance to look at India from space. I'd looked at Earth obviously, but it will be a specific pass, a specific time when you will fly over India. And I was busy doing experiments because it was very, very involved the first few days, and you are also not feeling very good. So you are slow, as I told you. You take time to do things. It was third or fourth day, I think. I was doing some experiment, and one of the long duration crew NASA astronaut, she came up to me and she said, "Shuks, we are going to pass over India. Would you like to see?" And I said, "Of course, I would like to see." And I called the ground control. I said, "I'll take some time and I'll come back." 10-15 minutes I needed, and I went, and there was a window, covered. I went head down and looking directly at the Earth. And that was the time we were passing over our
India.
And this was a pass from south to north, coming from Indian Ocean side. And it was a night pass. So completely dark. On ocean, not much of light. Very, very, it's just black. And then coming, what also happens, because it is completely black, if there is a thunderstorm or lightning happening, it suddenly, that you see the purple flash, that kind of firework, that happens. So wo notice ho raha tha ocean ke upar. And then, I'm looking, and suddenly you see the tip of the country, the peninsular region, fully bright, lighted up, it's beautiful. And I look at that, and you are flying over it, and, you identify Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune, Delhi, Lucknow, Kanpur, all these cities you can make out India-Bangladesh border. And probably under a minute, you pass over the country, and you are over the Himalayas, which is completely dark. And I not, even when I'm telling you right now, I get good goosebumps because of the feeling that I got when I was actually witnessing this and passing over. It was somehow very emotional because so much had happened in the preceding few days, right? The launch, going up, and there's so much of excitement, but you never get time to think about any of it. This was something extremely emotional, and so I was kind of anticipating it, and I felt something like the waters in my eyes, and probably tears had come, and so I started doing this, wiping. All dry, nothing, because tears don't fall in space, so when you cry, they just accumulate in your eyes. It just remains here, pani yahi rehta hai. So then, instinctively that was a reaction. But then when I touched this, so I found that my eyes were wet because, I had just had some tears because of the emotional feeling which was there. But this was something, so it was very emotional. And suddenly it became, something so unique for me. Wow, this doesn't fall, it's just a learning that happened to me immediately. So, everything is
कैसा दिखता है इंडिया?
Extremely beautiful,
Space से कैसे दिखता है? Like
very very beautiful. I think like I have described, the just the location of how it is placed, especially in the night, it first of all definitely looks beautiful. It stands out, as compared to the other regions. It really stands out because everything is dark and suddenly there is this lighted portion which comes in. It really looks beautiful. But more than the sight, it was the emotional feeling that you had when you were flying over it. It was not just looking at India because it is beautiful. It is because that's all your experience right there below you, right? All your life. So I think that was what was more
making emotional
for me. Yeah, that just flying over the country, and that was more emotional for me than just the sight of it. But yes, it looks phenomenal.
Did you take Indian food up there?
We try to. We have an agency called DFRL, which is under DRDO, who was making food for our own mission, Gaganyaan. And the aim was to qualify as much as possible, if let's say it is able to fly to station. So that means that it is certified, already, and it can be flown. So we try to take a lot of it, but only 3 could be qualified. 3 items that I took with me.
Kya?
And those 3 items were gajar ka halwa, मूंग दाल का हलवा, and आमरस.
बाकी कुछ भी नहीं ले था पाए? क्या था पहले जो?
No, there is a huge item, from as simple as khichdi to pulao to some vegetables to.
और ये सब क्यों नहीं हो पाया?
So क्यों नहीं? तो I don't think that there will be a one single answer to this. There are multiple reasons which would have been communicated, but I think time was one of the biggest factor. There may have been some additional tests that they would have wanted to do, but we did not have enough time to do those tests. So probably that was the reason that they couldn't be qualified. So these were the only 3 items that could be qualified from the items that had been sent from India. 3 items.
Which food did you want?
I couldn't eat any of them actually.
Kyun?
Because all my crew members ate these food items which were there. So they really
आमरस जो था वो भी नहीं मिला.
Everybody, and I was happy also because this is what better way than sharing food, flying there. So we had crew from US, Russia, Poland, Hungary, Japan.
वो खा गए.
Them enjoyed.
सही है ये.
Coming back, 12th or 13th day, I started missing food. I generally don't do, but I did start missing food because your taste buds also get subdued when you go to space, and primarily because your the odor, the sense of smell that you have, that gets subdued because of the permanent congestion that you have because of fluid shifting upwards, and so your sense of taste significantly reduces. And also the NASA food that goes is low in sodium because of your bone health requirements. So I think I was really craving salt, salty food and the spicy food that we have. So but I had already called my flight surgeon before and said that, that please bring something salty for me when you come to pick me up. Otherwise, I am just...
क्या खाया Earth पे आने के बाद?
So the first contact happens with the Axiom flight surgeon who he brought me chips because that is what, is available there. So he brought me chips, but my Indian flight surgeon was also there, and when I met him, he brought banana chips and bhakarwadi.
Nice.
And dry kachori as well.
अर्थ पे आके सबसे पहले ड्राई कचौड़ी खाई है. आई वाज स्पीकिंग टू सुनीता विलियम्स एंड उन्होंने बोला कि सबसे ज्यादा खतरनाक स्मेल ना इंडियन खाने की आती है. So like कि अगर आपने खोला है ऊपर तो everybody knows it's an Indian food.
Yes. No, that is true here as well, right? We know that it's so many spices and everything, so वो तो पता चलता है.
How do you sleep up there? क्योंकि वहाँ मैट्रेस नहीं होती ना. तो जब you're in space, आप कहाँ सो हवा में सोते हो, मैट्रेस नहीं होती, आपकी बैग इतने दिनों तक कहाँ पे टिकाते हो? Like what happens?
हाँ, ये the question you asked me, this is exactly my thought the first night कि बैग कहाँ पे टिकाऊं मैं? Where should I
straighten my bag? Yeah,
straighten my bag. And you don't straighten your bag. You sleep in air.
अब ऐसे ही सोते हो.
You sleep. Whatever posture it is. A body automatically will assume your natural posture. You are in air, and एक sleeping bag होता है. You get inside the sleeping bag, and then you tie yourself. बांधना पड़ता है अपने आप को, because otherwise you'll float away. In the night somewhere. And once एक बार बांध लिया, उसके बाद you are just sleeping in air in the bag. There is no and instances you see people when you wake up and किसी ने अगर एक सिर्फ end से अपने आप को बांधा है, तो in the night you would find them hanging upside down, or at least you will feel that way. उल्टा लटके हैं, सो रहे हैं, या फिर horizontal position में सो रहे हैं. There is no preferred orientation.
तो कोई गद्दा नहीं, कोई कुछ टिकने की कोई दीवार भी नहीं है जहाँ आप उसको पकड़ के ऐसे उल्टा सो नहीं.
Even if you try to hold on to something, you will never rest yourself on this. There is no way, because you are in air. So अगर आप कुछ रखते भी हो, you are never going to be on that, because you're floating. Everything is floating. So वो हो ही नहीं, possible ही नहीं होगा.
Does your then back, neck, lower back, body hurts after this?
Your back hurts, but not because of this. I think your back hurts because you grow taller in space. आपकी height बढ़ती है. Space में.
Okay, खिंचा जाते हो.
Because your spine decompresses. So you grow in height. When that happens, your back pains, your back aches. Yes, that is I think there were 2 to 3 days in between when this happened. जब होता है ये, तो उस समय दर्द होता है.
And is it bad?
It is painful. Yes, I had to take medication for that. Yes.
And do you dream in zero gravity?
मुझे यहाँ भी नहीं dreams आते हैं. So I don't dream much on Earth as well. So I think वहाँ पे भी it was not much for me.
And उधर radiation बहुत high होता है, right? Can you physically feel it once you're coming back? Once you come back?
No, you don't physically feel the radiation. The radiation dosage is higher, but the orbit that we maintain around Earth, it's not very high there. But that is one of the primary reasons why the duration for astronauts to stay in space is limited. Because of the cumulative.
क्योंकि कुछ हफ्तों में इतना रेडिएशन हो जाता है जो शायद हमें सालों में भी अर्थ पे नहीं होता, right?
That is true, and that is why total time in space is also limited because of this,
radiation.
Radiation का जो factor है उसकी वजह से it is limited. So it increases your exposure to radiation, but it is well within the limits that are specified, medically, and उसी के हिसाब से your duration is calculated and your
and उसकी वजह से कोई ऐसे terminal illness होती है when you come back?
There are changes in your body that happen
after you age faster. You do so many things.
You age faster. Most of them are reversible. When you come back to Earth, you go back. There are some changes which linger on over a period of time. So all that research is happening. Even if you look at the history of human space flight,
कितने ही तो लोग गए
हैं. And I was 634th human to go to space.
And first Indian to go to International Space Station.
First Indian to go to International Space Station. But these many people have gone, and that is the data for last 20-25 years that we have. It's a very minuscule number as compared to the humans. So I think whatever we surmise based on the data that we have today, जो भी हम अभी निष्कर्ष निकालेंगे, मुझे लगता है कि वो बहुत ही nascent है अभी भी, बहुत ही nascent है.
So जब आप एक एस्ट्रोनॉट सूट, स्पेस सूट में जाते हो, उसके पहले एस्ट्रोनॉट्स को 4 घंटे प्री ब्रीदिंग चाहिए होती है ना, प्योर ऑक्सीजन की. वो क्यों चाहिए होती है? What's the reason behind it?
What you're talking about is for the spacewalk. जब हम स्टेशन के बाहर जाते हैं.
Okay.
It's not
inside the
station. It is when you go outside. So मेरे मिशन में ये वाला एस्पेक्ट नहीं था, because spacewalk के लिए there is another 2 years of training, additional training that you have to do.
Okay.
So again, जैसे हम evolve कर रहे हैं अपने mission में, so eventually I think we will reach a stage wherein we will be able to do that. But as of now, हम जो suit पहन के जाते हैं, that is known as the IVA suit, which is intravehicular space suit, and the EVA suit is the one that you are talking about, which is the extravehicular.
क्या डिफरेंस होता है उसमें, क्या एक्स्ट्रा ट्रेनिंग चाहिए होती है?
तो बहुत डिफरेंस है एक्चुअली. फर्स्ट डिफरेंस दैट आई विल टेल यू कि जो IVA सूट है करीब 16 से 18 kg के बीच का होता है, 16 to 18 kgs
जो आप पहनते हो,
जो हम लोग पहनते हैं अंदर. सारे एस्ट्रोनॉट्स पहनते हैं. एवरीबडी हु गोज टू स्पेस हैज टू वेयर द IVA सूट. देयर इज अ लास्ट लाइन ऑफ डिफेंस. इफ समथिंग हैपेंस टू द कैप्सूल, दैट IVA सूट विल प्रोटेक्ट यू, टू फॉर यू टू कम बैक. The EVA suit, जब when you get out of the station, there is no protective shell around you. That EVA suit is your spaceship. There is nothing else, because between you and vacuum, everything. So the EVA suit has to have all the systems for you to sustain life, all the environmental control and life support system. So the EVA suit का weight होता है, it's around 120 to 140 kgs.
Wow, so
That is the
yours is like
difference.
under 20 kgs
Yes.
and it's 140 kgs.
That is the difference, because everything has to be catered. The thermal rejection, the oxygen supply, moisture rejection, everything, water, everything has to be catered by that suit. So you, that's a totally different level altogether. And the training is primarily how to navigate in that suit. And it is also pressurized, because there is no artificial pressure now around. That suit is the one that is creating pressure for you. So your everything is pressurized to maintain the partial pressure of oxygen for you to continuously breathe. So it's a very different level of technology that is required for you to get into that suit. And also when you get out, you are maneuvering outside, in microgravity, in that pressurized suit. So majority of your training, when it happens underwater in the neutral buoyancy lab in the US. And so you get into water, you simulate those conditions, and then you work on the station on the outside. So that is primarily, those trainings are, that take time.
And आपके सूट में क्या क्या होता है?
It is protecting life per se. So the primary thing that you try to achieve with, so in the IVA suit, what happens is all the systems don't have to be in the suit. You use the spacecraft systems, but that becomes your kind of shell to maintain the pressure, to maintain the oxygen, and that is what it essentially does. So it is kind of a sealed compartment. You still are connected to the oxygen source of the spacecraft, which is inside the spacecraft. So you don't have to carry it. The EVA suit, you have to carry the system outside. And that is the major, difference. So this is just one that I'm saying, but for every system, it becomes true.
What happens? So actually, the question is, mentally, how do you prepare yourself for this whole thing? Because ये training करना एक चीज़ है, सब चीज़ें कर ली आपने, सब बढ़िया कर लिया, आप स्पेस में भी चले गए, स्पेस सूट भी पहन लिया, यू आर देयर, राइट? लाइक हाउ डू यू प्रिपेयर योरसेल्फ मेंटली कि कुछ भी हो सकता है, वन लिटिल थिंग एंड आई एम गॉन फॉर लाइफ, यहाँ तो मैं स्पेस में फॉर एवर लॉस्ट हो जाऊँगा, इट्स डेथ, लाइक देयर इज नथिंग एल्स, राइट? प्रॉबेबली चलो आपको फाइटर जेट एक्सपीरियंस है, आपने इतना ज़्यादा फाइटर पायलट ट्रेनिंग करी है, आपने टेस्ट पायलट आप रह चुके हो, तो वो सब, लेकिन उन सब में ऐसा होता है कि एक बटन दबाया, बाहर निकल जाओगे और पैराशूट होगा, यू विल बी सेफ्ड. इधर तो कुछ भी नहीं है.
ऐसा नहीं है कि कुछ नहीं है. देयर आर थिंग्स, देयर आर सिस्टम्स व्हिच आर इन प्लेस, व्हिच आर थॉट ऑफ, जो सोच के भेजा जाता है. कुछ चीजें होती है, यस, बट आई एग्री, आई अंडरस्टैंड योर पॉइंट.
द रिस्क इज इमेंस,
रिस्क इज
राइट? इवन विद लाइक वर्ल्ड्स टॉप लेवल स्पेस टेक्नोलॉजी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, उन्होंने वन ऑफ द वर्ल्ड्स फाइनेस्ट एस्ट्रोनॉट सुनीता विलियम्स को भेजा था और वो अटक गए थे स्पेस में.
So that is possible.
For more than 200 days.
Yes, that is possible.
कि कुछ पता भी नहीं था आएंगे नहीं आएंगे क्या होगा किसी को, like at least on the earth she was confident that nothing has happened.
Yes. So yes, so this is the distinction, so आप जब involved होते हैं in activities में, so you understand what is happening, you understand how the planning is going, you know how the process is going. So कहीं ना कहीं एक level जो है of concern वो कम हो जाता है, because आपको awareness ज़्यादा है कि how the planning has happened. Risk is there, I agree, and your risk appetite has to be higher when you are getting into something like this. But you also understand risk. You calculate risk, actually. You don't just understand. You calculate risk in terms of numbers. You do. And then you accept that risk. Everybody sits down and you accept that risk, and then you get into something in the mission. But जब आप कर रहे होते हैं, when you are actually doing this, you can't think like this. if you think that अगर कुछ गड़बड़ हो गया और ये हो जाएगा, तो it is paralyzing. You won't be able to function. So when you are doing things, you only do things. You just focus on what you can do at that point of time. That is what is required. Being in the now actually allows you to function well without thinking about the consequences. So that is what is actually the requirement of training.
2 days before आपके launch के, आप आपकी वाइफ से फोन पे बात कर रहे हो कि बैंक अकाउंट ये है, अगर कुछ हो जाए तो ये है, कुछ ये, तो आपकी वाइफ कैसे रिस्पॉन्ड करती है उसको?
It has been a long life, and in aviation also ये सब चीज़ें होती हैं. And you see these things, you learn, you become stronger every time something like this happens. So I have been extremely fortunate, to have a partner that I have, that she obviously understands very well, and even, after realizing and understanding, supports me to the extent that she has. So वो कैसे absorb करती हैं, I really don't know, but she does it very well. And that is why I was able to do all this.
But one day you were sitting with her, you were talking about all the logistics.
Yes.
Right? And she said, stop the talk, logistics will be managed. Right?
Yes.
What were that conversation?
Yeah, so there was no conversation. Again, it's the same thing. These are big decisions which when you take, you really don't know how they are going to work out. आपको नहीं पता होता कि कैसे ये होंगे, लाइफ में कैसे पैन आउट करेंगे. So in that moment when you take a decision, it is based on the best available knowledge that you have and your best available wisdom that you can summon at that point of time. आप वो decision लेते हैं, and it has to be a consensus decision, because whatever you do, it affects your family. Your family is involved in this actively. So it was always a conscious decision. So what you were talking about was when the time जब मैं training के लिए जा रहा था, because we decided that because our son was studying here in India, I think uprooting everything and traveling there for 1 year didn't make sense. So it was decided that we'll do back and forth. The family will do back and forth. But this was disruption of life as we knew it. अब इसके बाद से life was not going to be the same. It was going to be different, and that was a collective decision. So when you're leaving, what do? You start planning for logistics. Like, things are kept here. I have talked to him. This will happen. That will happen, and eventually things do work out. But you try to fill up the gap by over-explaining things that you have done. So that was the situation where she said, don't worry about it. It will all get done. Yeah, just sit.
But she's always fine. She never showed a sign of weakness कि यार छोड़ दे यार, मत करिए, ये ज़्यादा risky हो जाएगा, don't do it.
Never, no.
You know how loved ones can get, right?
Yes.
And it's not, I'm not saying this is a sign of weakness in some wrong way. This is a sign of weakness in terms of just love. I won't even say it's a sign of weakness. I think it is a sign of concern and care
for somebody. And it was always there. And we, fortunately, she has been my friend for a long time now. So fortunately for me, how it has worked out that I can have very open conversations with her. So we talk about things.
उन्हें पता है कि तू यही करेगा.
She is also a part of this. It is not, yes, there is a drive from my side, but it is also from her, her side also. The kind of encouragement that I do get, then only it is possible. Like I said, it's not possible to do it alone.
Yeah.
It is not possible. It would be very difficult to even.
What do you think उन्होंने sacrifice किया होगा for you to live up to this dream?
A lot, I would say. I remember when the first time I was leaving for training in 2020, I had a son 15 months old when Kamna actually traveled to Russia with him. He was just 15 months old. I wasn't there at the house, and so the training center was outside of Moscow, and I used to be there for 5 days and coming back only in the weekends by herself. That was the COVID period. There's nobody in the house. She and the kid, nothing else, for 5 days every week. I'm totally absent. This was 1.5 years then. And then you come back, you're here for some time, and then I again take off to US for about a year or something. So it is a challenge, and not just being available is a huge challenge. Not being present is a challenge. So I think that is a huge sacrifice, and without that sacrifice, it was not possible for this to happen. So I think it definitely needs huge support. And I wouldn't say support. It is, I think, an equal partnership in doing something like this. That is what is required.
True. See, you have you've worked in India, you've worked in space centers, technologies or institutions in Russia, and you've done the same thing in America. कौन सबसे ज़्यादा technologically advanced है?
Today, in field of space, if you say, the pace of innovation is very rapid today. It's very rapid. You're looking at how, we're just talking about one company, SpaceX, but there are several others who have also come up and were doing a lot of good work in this domain.
India में open है?
It is open in India now. So in 2020, InSpace was created. We have a new space policy that came out in 2023, and the private sector in India is also now growing very rapidly. We have almost 400 startups in the space sector. We have our first unicorn in India in the space sector. Yeah,
Pawan. No.
So it is growing rapidly, and these are all kids who are making tech in India now. So that is very hard.
But we are behind at this point.
At this point, yes. We have different starting points, I would say. But I am very positive for this entire field, looking out in the front. I am very hopeful because I think that this has a transformational nature, this sector. And it is going to be something to look out for in the next decade. It is going to be very fascinating to see how the space sector in India is going to evolve. But before doing a direct comparison, I think what would be more relevant would be to ask the right question. What is it that we are comparing this for? What kind of technology are you talking about?
What should we compare ourselves for or with?
What do we want to do? So if you
what should we aim to do at this point? Because you've been there, you understand
I think the
mindset of those astronauts as well.
The three main pillars, that make a superpower in space today a superpower is that you have access to space on demand, and weight not restriction, where you can carry light payloads, heavy payloads, medium payloads. You have launch vehicle capability and enough numbers. Second is, a constellation of sorts, which gives you hardware in space, so that you can use it for whatever purpose you want to use, communication, surveillance, or, remote sensing, whatever it is a purpose, but actual hardware deployed in space. That is the second thing. And the third thing I would say would be the human spaceflight capability. The capability to be able to send humans to space and bring them back safely. So launch vehicle is one aspect of it, but the spacecraft, the capsule, and the entire ecosystem to send them to space and bring them back safely. So these are the three main things that if you analyze all the major powers in the world, like US, Russia, and China are the only three countries which have these today. So this is what I think we should aim for, and we should try to have all of that in the near future.
And see, what you've done is commendable, okay? And for someone कि जो लखनऊ से आता है और कोई पूरे खानदान में कोई स्पेस में नहीं है, साइंस में नहीं है, right? And then you go against the odds, and then you become the first Indian to reach ISS. That's incredible, right? There is some kid right now in some small city वो ऐसे सपने भी नहीं देख पाता क्योंकि शायद possible भी नहीं है. What would you tell that person?
I think that kids today are able to think like this. And I'll tell you a story about this, why this happened. I was in space and there were 2 times I got to interact with kids. एक बार video call पे और एक बार through ham radio, I was interacting with them. And the intent during these calls is to answer as many questions as possible. You don't have to give the right answer because for that child, he's able to ask a question to an astronaut in space, right? That is the highlight. So you want to answer quickly and you move on to the next question. So I was trying to do that and trying to answer as many questions as possible. There was a kid from Northeast, or I was at 16th question or 16th or 17th question. And he asked me, sir, आप मुझे ये बताइए कि भारत के नॉर्थ ईस्ट क्षेत्र के एक छोटे से गांव का बच्चा एस्ट्रोनॉट कैसे बन सकता है. And kids were asking questions like, where do you sleep, how do you drink water, how do you eat food, all that type of questions were coming. And suddenly this question comes, that कि आप मुझे बताइए कि भारत के छोटे से गांव, नॉर्थ ईस्ट क्षेत्र के एक छोटे से गांव का बच्चा एस्ट्रोनॉट कैसे बन सकता है. And I actually paused, I took some time to answer that question, and I told him that I'll come back. I will tell you how to become an astronaut, and I hope that you become one. And I responded that, but it forced me to think. I think that that desire is there, but for a lot of kids who probably are not thinking, like you said, जैसा आपने बोला, तो मैं यही कहूँगा कि मैंने भी कभी नहीं सोचा था. I never thought that I will be an astronaut, but gradually over a period of time, कोई चीज़ किसी पहाड़ को भी जब हम चढ़ते हैं तो वो बहुत बड़ा दिखता है पहले, but अगर आप आँख नीचे करके एक स्टेप लेके चढ़ना शुरू करें, so it becomes manageable over a period of time. That is what we have to understand, everybody. the dream may be as big as it can be, there is no stopping it. उसको execute करते समय ना पूरे dream को छोड़ दो, you do what you can do at that point of time, and everything is possible. And if it is possible for me, it is possible for anybody who is there in this country. That is what the message I would like to give them. They also have to believe that. बच्चों को ये विश्वास भी रखना है. The good part is कि this time around, the country is also evolving in a way कि ये सब possible भी है. It is possible for them to get into this and do such things and get into space exploration, become astronauts, become scientists, become researchers. It is possible. So I think it is a very exciting time to be around here at this point.
Absolutely. ऐसा सपना कैसे आया आपको, इस फील्ड में जाऊंगा, कब से ये आइडिया आया?
एस्ट्रोनॉट तो कभी भी नहीं, कभी सोचा भी नहीं था. मतलब आई डोंट थिंक कि सोच भी होती है ना एक, मतलब कि आप,
बट बचपन में होता है ना, बच्चे बोलते हैं कि एस्ट्रोनॉट बनेंगे.
हाँ बोलते हैं. और मेरी जो वाइफ हैं वो जब स्कूल में पूछा जाता था तो वो ज़रूर बोलती थी कि उनको एस्ट्रोनॉट बनना है. बट मैंने नहीं बोला कभी. मतलब आई नेवर सेड दैट. एंड आई थिंक उसके लिए भी थोड़ी हिम्मत चाहिए होती है. मतलब एक टू रीच दैट फार, टू थिंक दैट यू कैन बी. और मे बी दैट वॉज नॉट द रीज़न, बट कभी भी ऐसा कॉन्शियस थॉट नहीं आया कि आई कैन बिकम एन एस्ट्रोनॉट. मतलब ऐसा कभी मुझे फील ही नहीं हुआ कि ये पॉसिबल भी है मेरे लिए.
ओके.
जबकि उस समय हमारे पहले एस्ट्रोनॉट राकेश शर्मा सर गए थे 1984 में ही गए थे, और उसमें तो बहुत क्रेज़ था. हम लोग बुक्स में पढ़ते थे, टीवी में भी आते थे वो. बट फिर भी कभी वो ख्याल नहीं आया मन में कि हम भी बन सकते हैं इस तरह से. तो आई डोंट थिंक कि एस्ट्रोनॉट बनने का कभी ख्याल था, ये कि कभी ये एम्बिशन रहा. 6th ग्रेड में मैंने ना एक एयर शो देखा, एक फाइटर एयरक्राफ्ट का एयर शो. बख्शी का तालाब एक एयरबेस है लखनऊ के नॉर्थ में, वहाँ पे मैं गया था और मैंने वो एयर शो देखा था. एंड आई एब्सोल्युटली फैसिनेटेड, एकदम मेस्मराइज होके वापस आया मैं वहाँ से. एंड उस समय भी जो मेरी इच्छा थी वो ये थी कि मुझे बस 5 मिनट के लिए कॉकपिट में बैठने के लिए मिल जाए किसी तरह.
बस बैठने को मिल जाए.
हाँ.
और कॉकपिट में
बिकॉज होता क्या है कि वो एयर शो करते हैं, एयर शो करने के बाद में जब खत्म हो जाता है तो वो डिस्प्ले होता है, जब वो एयरक्राफ्ट खड़े कर देते हैं. तो जो एयरक्राफ्ट फ्लाई कर रहे थे वही एयरक्राफ्ट वो टारमैक पे खड़े हुए थे, और उसके वेपन्स वगैरह भी सामने लगाते हैं एंड देन बैरिकेडिंग कर देते हैं. तो जब मैं वहाँ पे खड़ा था तो आई कुड सी, वो कॉकपिट दिखता है आप जब नीचे से देखते हैं. तो आई वाज एबल टू सी कि इसमें कोई बैठा था अभी जो ये उड़ रहा था ना, somebody was flying it. So that thought I remember कि वो था कि मतलब एक बार अंदर बैठने को मिल जाए इसके ना.
तो 10 साल में क्या फैसिनेट कर रहा था कि वही क्यों?
हैव यू सीन एयर शो?
नहीं.
So I can understand कि
wow.
So, you have to be at an air show. It will fascinate you today as well, and I'm guaranteeing you it will fascinate you. Today it is such a, because it is something so much, especially उस समय के लिए. अब तो probably it would not be right for me to say that कि मतलब I've had a lot of experience in this, but for a child जिसने नहीं देखा ऐसा कभी कुछ पहले, वो ऐसी चीज़ थी कि they were flying so low, कि you see something before you hear it, जो होता है जो which is you traveling faster than sound, and वो चीज़ें, and they are flying so low, and वो जो reheat की आवाज़ होती है वो. So I think it was everything, that entire thing was like absolutely fascinating to me. Why it becomes exciting is कि एक तो बहुत fast है, it is really very fast, and वो ऐसी चीज़ें करते हैं एकदम आपकी आंखों के सामने बिल्कुल, जो आप मतलब obviously ये सारी चीज़ें कॉम्बैट में ऊपर करते हैं, ये सामने नहीं होती, बट वो आपकी आंखों के सामने होंगे. that they will come, they will suddenly turn, roll करके upside down, then they'll go up, pitch up, pitch down. मतलब अब तो मैंने ये सब किया है, तो
अब आपको पर मुझे फैसिनेटिंग लगेगा.
नहीं, मुझे भी लगेगा. इवन नाउ अभी भी जब बैंगलोर में वो एरो इंडिया शो होता है एवरी 2 years, फाइटर्स आते हैं दुनिया भर से, एंड इवन नाउ व्हेन आई गो एंड आई लुक एट देम, और जब मैं देखता हूँ तो मुझे अभी भी लगता है कि वाओ, मतलब दिस इज सो अमेजिंग व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, बिकॉज इट इज a mix of speed and agility in a form that is, मतलब जो आप कहीं और एक्सपीरियंस नहीं करेंगे.
Okay.
See, why is F1 racing so exciting?
Speed and agility, yeah.
You see that, you see those things happening in front of you. You see, it feels humanly impossible. वैसा लगता है. वैसा ही similar experience आता है when you witness an air show from really up close. आपको पास से जब देखते हैं. Even that was not enough to trigger this ambition in me कि मुझे ये fighter pilot बनना है. ऐसा भी नहीं था. But I was really, impressed that day. वो तो definitely था. We grew up, you know, I was class 11th 12th में पहुँचे, मतलब हमारा फ्रेंड सर्कल था, एंड फॉर दैट टाइम आई थिंक द ओनली थिंग दैट वी न्यू, जो हमें मालूम था वो था या तो यू बिकम अ डॉक्टर, इंजीनियर और सिविल सर्विसेज, यू नो, मेजर 3, और द फोर्थ वन वाज डिफेंस. And my father somewhere later on this was revealed that he somewhere wanted me to join the civil services or go towards that path, but I never even thought about it that, you know, this is something that I want to do. It probably didn't excite me much, maybe. जो भी
but पापा ने कभी नहीं बोला, because it's very obvious that papa would want you to become that,
right? हाँ, but he never said it out loud, मतलब कभी उन्होंने वैसे नहीं बोला. So somewhere the natural path that it was taking was towards the engineering side, that I liked maths, तो मैंने math stream में मैं था अपने 11th 12th में, और that was the path it was taking, कि probably हम उस तरफ जाने की सोच रहे थे. तो SSB का बहुत नाम सुना था कि अलग तरह का इंटरव्यू होता है, 1 हफ्ते रहते हैं वहाँ पे जाके, फिर चीज़ें होती. तो यू नो, इवन देन आई डिड नॉट बाई द फॉर्म. NDA का 20 रुपये का फॉर्म आता था उसमें, वो भी नहीं खरीदा था मैंने. एंड यू नो, दिस ग्रुप ऑफ फ्रेंड्स 7-8 पीपल, दे वर सिटिंग इन अ क्लासरूम एक दिन स्कूल के बाद में, फॉर्म भर रहे थे, और मेरे एक दोस्त हैं, उनका फॉर्म लेके आए, बट ही सेड कि नहीं, मेरे तो घर वाले नहीं मानेंगे, बिल्कुल भी चांस नहीं है कि आई कैन गो. सो ही लेफ्ट हिज फॉर्म एंड वेंट. तो वो फॉर्म जो है वो वेकेंट पड़ा हुआ. सो आई फिल्ड अप दैट फॉर्म. मैंने कहा कि चलो लेट्स सी कि फॉर्म फिल कर देते हैं. तो मेरे घर पे किसी को पता नहीं था व्हेन आई फिल्ड द फॉर्म. आई डिडंट इवन टेल देम. फॉर्म फिल करने के बाद एग्जाम की डेट आई, इवन देन आई डिडंट टेल देम कि, सो आई वेंट एंड आई रोट द एग्जाम. मैं एग्जाम दे के आ गया, लखनऊ में था, जनवरी में. आई थिंक इट वॉज द टाइम इमीडिएटली छुट्टी के बाद. उस समय एम्प्लॉयमेंट न्यूज़ वो रिजल्ट आते थे UPSC के, NDA के, उसमें मैंने वो देखा भी नहीं था. बट मेरे ये जितने भी फ्रेंड सर्कल जिन्होंने सबने पेपर लिखा था, ये सब एक दिन घर आ गए एम्प्लॉयमेंट न्यूज़ लेके, एंड सेलिब्रेट करने के लिए कि अरे ये तुम्हारा सिलेक्शन हो गया इसमें करके. एंड दैट वाज द फर्स्ट टाइम माय पेरेंट्स केम टू नो कि
ये कौन सा सिलेक्शन हुआ है, ये कहाँ है
करके. एंड इट सो हैपेंड कि वो जो पूरा ग्रुप था उसमें आई गॉट थ्रू, मतलब मेरा ही सिलेक्शन. हाँ सर.
ओके.
सो उस समय खबर ब्रेकआउट हुई, ये हुई, सब कुछ हुआ. एंड देन आई वाज आल्सो एक्साइटेड कि अरे वाह, मतलब मेरा हो गया इसमें सिलेक्शन,
तो डिफेंस हो जाएंगे.
आई शुड गो फॉर SSB. एंड SSB जाने का भी उस समय मेरा यही क्रेज था कि आई वांटेड टू सी कि ये क्या है, मतलब ये अलग चीज़ होती है जो व्हाट इज़ इट, बिकॉज आप कभी घर से बाहर निकलते नहीं हो उसके पहले, राइट, आप घर में ही हो हमेशा. तो आई सेड कि मैं जाना चाहता हूँ SSB के लिए. देहरादून वाज माय नंबर 1 FSB.
और ऐसे घर वालों ने क्या बोला तब जब पता चला उन्हें?
नो हैप्पीनेस नो सैडनेस. लाइक बाद में चूँकि इसके बारे में काफ़ी बात हुई, तो मेरे पापा से भी मेरी जब बात हुई तो उन्होंने कहा कि उन्होंने अपनी तरफ से एक्टिवली डिस्करेज करने के लिए मुझे ही डिडंट गिव मी एनी सपोर्ट. लाइक ही सेड कि अच्छा जाना चाहते हो तो जाओ, मतलब ही जस्ट सेड दैट. बट मतलब मेरे ट्रेन टिकट से लेके मेरा कैसे जाना है, कहाँ रहना है, कुछ भी, मतलब ही वॉज नॉट इन्वॉल्व्ड एट ऑल.
पैसे दिए?
नहीं,
पैसे भी नहीं थे, वो खुद कर लो.
हाँ, मतलब ऐसा कुछ बोला भी नहीं. आई ऑल्सो डिडंट आस्क, मतलब ये कि वो चले जाओ, मेरे लिए तो इतना ही बहुत था कि
परमिशन मिल गई, वही हो गई,
जाके आओ करके.
एंड देन व्हाट हैपेंड? यू रोट अ लेटर टू योरसेल्फ?
I wrote a letter when I was 14. Yes, this was around 11 or something. I wrote.
क्या लिखा आपने लेटर में? I have this letter.
Yeah, I wrote, and I've written that letter in the book also. And ये उसी समय की बात है, you know. ये
आपकी बुक ओपन होती है इस लेटर से.
Yes.
This is the letter to my future self.
Yes.
And क्या है इस लेटर में ऐसा? What have you written?
This happened उस टाइम पे जब मैं स्कूल में था. तो ये या तो कोई एक वो था, एक्टिविटी थी जो हम करते थे, या फिर यू नो समवेयर आई रेड दिस इन सम मैगजीन, और कहीं तो मैंने देखा था ये, जिसकी वजह से ये मुझे आइडिया है कि ये भी एक यू नो एक चीज़ करके देखते हैं, चीज़ लिख के देखते हैं.
क्या क्रक्स था इसका?
एंड ऑब्वियसली यू नो ये तो अभी मैंने चूंकि बुक के लिए रिप्रोड्यूस किया है, सो इट इज़ मच मोर रिफाइंड वर्जन ऑफ दैट लेटर, बट इस इतना यू नो पब्लिश्ड और इस तरह से नहीं था. बट मोटा मोटा जो लिखा है ये ऐसा ही, ये कुछ चीज़ें थी इसमें, यू नो इफ यू
गिव मी टूटा फूटा वर्जन जो बचपन का वर्जन था वो बताओ.
मैंने बाल के बारे में लिखा है, यू नो आई वाज रियली यू नो फ्रस्ट्रेटेड एट दैट टाइम कि बाल अच्छे होने चाहिए किसी भी तरीके से. आई नो व्हाई दैट थिंग वाज देयर, बट
अब बहुत सही है.
सो उसके बारे में लिखा है. एयर शो समथिंग दैट आई रोट अबाउट दैट बिकॉज आई वाज रियली फैसिनेटेड. सो ये उसी के मतलब विद इन सम टाइम ऑफ दैट ये रहा था. और And third was this. One of the thing that happened was that I think जब मैं 10th में था या 11th में था तो एक कृष्णा करके एक पब्लिशर होते थे, उनकी एक इंजीनियरिंग की मैथमेटिक्स की बुक आती थी रेड कलर की. इट यूज्ड टू बी दिस थिक. और मैं एक दिन स्कूल से वापस आया था तो मेरी टेबल पे बुक रखी हुई थी, किसी ने गिफ्ट की थी. और मैंने उस बुक को देखा और मैंने कहा कि ये पढ़नी है, ये बुक पढ़नी पड़ेगी. एंड आई वाज लाइक कि ये तो बहुत ही, एंड यू नो हाउ यू थिंक इन टर्म्स ऑफ मिनट्स उस समय जब आप उस एज पे होते हैं. तो दैट वाज आल्सो समथिंग दैट आई हैव मेंशन्ड कि वो मतलब बुक्स आ रही हैं पढ़ने के लिए, ये हो रहा है, एंड आई हैव टू यू नो अपीयर फॉर दैट. सो द फीलिंग एट दैट टाइम इन द एज, आई थिंक द एम्बिशन यूज्ड टू बी टू डू वेल इन क्लास. आप जिस भी क्लास में हैं आप अच्छा करें, पढ़ाई करें, आगे बढ़ें. बट ऐसा कभी भी नहीं था कि आई हैड माई लाइफ सॉर्टेड, कि मुझे मालूम है कि मुझे क्या करना है, मुझे पता है मुझे यहाँ जाना है.
फार-फेच्ड ड्रीम नहीं था.
ऐसा नहीं था, ऐसा इट वाज नेवर द केस.
इट वाज ऑलवेज वन स्टेप एट अ टाइम.
वन स्टेप.
सो देन यू रीच्ड एकेडमी.
यस.
ठीक है, फिर आप एसएसबी, और वो भी क्लियर हो गया.
एसएसबी, हाँ एसएसबी भी क्लियर हुआ. हम लोग आई थिंक 5 बैचेस थे हमारे में जो भी थे, बट 8 का एक बैच था जैसे नंबर 1 to 8. एंड ख़त्म हुआ तो वो बोर्ड आउट होते हैं, एंड देन आई वाज टोल्ड कि आपका सिलेक्शन हो गया. एंड देन आई गॉट थ्रू दैट, एंड वहीं से वो न्यू दिल्ली भेज रहे थे लोगों को मेडिकल्स के लिए. बट अब ये भी नहीं पता था मेरे घर पे कि यू नो ये सिलेक्शन हो गया. सो आई सेड नहीं, मैं घर जा रहा हूँ. आई वेंट बैक, आई डिडंट गो फॉर मेडिकल्स. आई केम बैक to Lucknow, and then there were a lot of counseling you know happened, because एक तो again like I said बहुत active interest नहीं था मेरे, ना तो मेरे पापा का ना मम्मी का that I should go into this field. और मेरा थोड़ा बहुत मन बन रहा था because all this was happening and aligning, but there were a few other people also जिन्होंने काउंसलिंग की, जिन्होंने बताया. कुछ लोग थे जो लखनऊ से ही ऑलरेडी, जिनके बच्चे were in the defense forces, उनके वहाँ से बातचीत हुई, तो काफ़ी कुछ हुआ ये काउंसलिंग बीच में. then I went back to Delhi for medicals. दोबारा से गया, मेडिकल्स भी you know क्लियर हो गए. and before I was to appear for my board exams, मतलब I knew कि I am going to NDA in June.
12th से पहले.
Yes.
Nice.
So board exams somewhere March में, no, and this was all February में this was all done, and ये June में the session starts, the semester starts. तो मुझे ये पता था कि मैं अभी NDA में जा रहा हूँ.
Interesting. So अब चले गए National Defense Academy, right? That's NDA.
National Defense Academy.
तब NDA में चले गए. अब क्या करा वहाँ से? पायलट कैसे बन गए?
Horrible period for me. I think NDA is the single most important factor of my change in outlook of how things can be done.
क्या सबसे खराब था?
It is a place which takes you to your extremes. मतलब बिल्कुल आपको extreme पे लेके जाती है. I used to play, हम खेलते थे स्कूल में, but not as a professional. You know, if you fun के लिए खेलते थे. You know, you're playing cricket or football or whatever it is, but fun के लिए. But the minute you get into NDA, it becomes a very proper regimented training, you know, that you have to do. और एक हफ्ते का भी, I think 4 days का कुछ break in period होता है, when you know things are taken
hell week type.
आराम से. The day it ends, जिस दिन वो खत्म होता है, उस दिन आपको suddenly पता चलता है कि अरे ये what has happened, you know, because you're getting up at 4 o'clock, you know, पूरा दिन आपका busy है, you are running all the way around and you're coming back, getting a few minutes to eat food, वापस, and everything is, you know, 17 years of age, I was there in that academy, you know, and you're doing everything by yourself and सब कुछ. So I think it is very, very hard physically initially, and because it is so hard physically, when it थोड़े दिनों के लिए जब चलता है तो mentally it becomes very hard.
It breaks you.
Well, there is a lot of attrition in the first month in NDA. बहुत सारे बच्चे वापस जाते हैं. Almost, I will not quote a figure because I'm not sure, but a lot of kids leave the academy because of this.
A big number.
A huge number, huge chunk. Sleep period used to be very, very less. बहुत छोटा होता था. So वो एक ऐसी चीज़ थी जो आप मतलब फिर क्लासरूम में पूरी कर रहे हैं. जब आप जा रहे हैं वहाँ पे तो वहाँ सो रहे हैं. You know, तो this was something that continued for a long period of time. One such episode happened that Sunday को you used to get time to go वहाँ पे जो मार्केट होती थी, and PCO से you know आप घर पे फ़ोन कर पाते थे. फ़ोन पे बात होती थी, सब कुछ होता था. एंड मिड टर्म में आपके पेरेंट्स आ सकते हैं मिलने के लिए आपसे. सो फर्स्ट टर्म में जो ब्रेकिंग पॉइंट टाइप था, जो जिसके लिए बहुत बुरा मुझे लगा था, वो ऐसा था कि जब मैं घर से गया था, देन आई वाज अबाउट 70 kgs, 70-71 के आसपास, एंड विद इन आई थिंक अ मंथ एंड अ हाफ आई वाज 52. वो वेट लॉस होता है बिकॉज यू आर एक्सरसाइजिंग सो मच, आप इतना दौड़ रहे हो,
ऑलमोस्ट 19-20 kg
या बहुत जल्दी वेट लॉस हुआ था. एंड मैं जिस कॉर्डन में था उसका ट्रेडिशन था कि आपको मूछें भी रखनी है, हंटर्स कॉर्डन, आपको यू हैड टू कीप मुस्टैशेस. और आप धूप में दौड़ रहे हैं तो आप यू एकदम चारकोल ब्लैक हो गए हैं, मूछें आ गई हैं, एकदम 70 से 52 हो गए हैं. तो मिड टर्म ब्रेक में बस में पेरेंट्स वर पिक्ड अप फ्रॉम द स्टेशन, एंड वो एकेडमी में जब एंटर करते हैं तो वहाँ पे यू आर अलाउड टू गो एंड रिसीव देम. So जैसे जहाँ पे आप बैठे हो वहाँ पे my mother was sitting in the bus and I was standing right in front of her. She couldn't recognize me.
She didn't recognize you.
And वहाँ से लेकर जब तक हम स्कॉटलैंड पहुँचे तब तक I didn't speak to her. फिर वहाँ पे जाके I spoke to her because मुझे भी मालूम था मैं इनको बोलूँगा अभी तो ये ऐसा हो जाएगा. सो कुछ होते हैं मोमेंट्स, ज़रूरी हैं. आई थिंक इट इज़ ऑल वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. बट हाँ, पर्सनली अगर आप पूछो तो ऐसे कुछ चीज़ें होती हैं जो
डिड दैट ब्रेक यू, डिड दैट मेक यू फील बैड?
Of course, of course it will make you feel bad. More than me, it made her feel bad. When I told her finally कि ऐसा है, तो मतलब she felt much more bad about it. But this is how it is. So overall, when you look at it, I think that is the purpose of that academy. Because what are you preparing? आप किस चीज़ के लिए तैयार कर रहे हो? कैडेट्स को और ऑफिसर्स को आप कल के लिए जिसके लिए तैयार कर रहे हो. तो ऐसी ही टफ सिचुएशंस यू विल फेस लेटर ऑन इन योर लाइफ. सो आई थिंक वो जो पीरियड होता है ना, वो बहुत रेजिलियंस बिल्डअप करता है ऐसी चीज़ों के थ्रू, व्हेन यू ग्रो अप एंड व्हेन यू मूव फॉरवर्ड. एंड द बिगेस्ट स्ट्रेंथ इज थ्रू योर कोर्समेट्स जो आपके आसपास होते हैं, बिकॉज वो भी ऐसी चीज़ें देख रहे हैं. एंड व्हेन यू शेयर इट विद देम, उनसे बात करते हैं तो और हिम्मत बढ़ती है और फिर बोलते हैं कि नहीं चलो ठीक है, वील मूव फॉरवर्ड एंड वील डू सच थिंग.
And then the training happened. At what point you decided कि अब मैं टेस्ट पायलट बनूंगा? Like ये आपको हैंड ओवर होता है कि आप डिसाइड करते हो?
नहीं, व्हेन आई वाज इवन जब मैं एनडीए में जा भी रहा था तो दिस वाज वन कॉन्शियस डिसीजन दैट आई टुक वेरी अर्ली ऑन कि बिकॉज ऑफ दैट एयर शो कि मैं अगर एनडीए में जाऊंगा तो आई विल बिकम अ
स्टंट ही करूंगा,
आई विल बिकम अ फाइटर पायलट. वो तो मेरे मन में था कि मतलब सो आई हैड अप्लाइड एज एन एयरफोर्स कैडेट. मैंने उसी के लिए किया था एंड आई मेड द मेरिट. आई गॉट इनटू द एयरफोर्स एंड गॉट कमीशन्ड एज अ फाइटर पायलट इन 2006.
How was your feeling first time when you sat on that cockpit जहाँ बैठना था आपको?
I think flying, one thing was academy, जो बहुत बड़ा ट्रांसफॉर्मेशनल चीज़ थी मेरे लिए. एंड सेकेंड वॉज फ्लाइंग. मतलब आई वॉज एनडीए में ही 6 टर्म जो होता है उसमें आप अपना सर्विस रिलेटेड आप शुरू कर देते हैं. तो जब पहली बार मैं बैठा, सुपर डिमोना ग्लाइडर होता है हमारे एनडीए में, तो इट वॉज एंड दैट वाज द फर्स्ट टाइम आई सैट इन अ प्लेन. मतलब उसके पहले मैं बैठा भी नहीं था, सिविल एयरक्राफ्ट में भी नहीं बैठा था.
अच्छा. तो
वो पहली बार ही था जब व्हेन आई फ्लू वाज व्हेन आई सैट इन दी सुपर डिमोना. तो जो पहली बार मैंने जब फ्लाई,
पहली बार प्लेन में बैठे तो उड़ाने के लिए बैठे?
हाँ.
कभी ऐसे टेस्ट फ्लाइट भी नहीं होती कि आपके सामने कोई और पायलट उड़ा रहा है और आप पीछे बैठ जाओ?
यू सिट विद एन इंस्ट्रक्टर. मतलब साइड बाय साइड सीटिंग होती है ग्लाइडर में. यू आर नॉट गिवन द प्लेन टू फ्लाई. वो डुअल सी होते हैं शुरुआत में, लेकिन वो मेरा पहला ही एक्सपीरियंस था. गेट टू टेक ऑफ टू द स्काई वाज विद एन इंस्ट्रक्टर इन अ सुपर डिमोना व्हेन आई टुक ऑफ.
व्हाट इज सुपर डिमोना?
इट्स अ ग्लाइडर जो ट्रेनिंग के लिए यूज किया जाता है एनडीए, नेशनल डिफेंस एकेडमी में.
ओके.
हाँ. सो उसमें भी ग्रेजुअली बिल्डअप करते हैं. तो पहले बिनाइन एयरक्राफ्ट जो थोड़े स्लो होते हैं, जो फॉरगिविंग होते हैं, उन पे आप ट्रेनिंग करते हैं. एंड धीरे धीरे
फॉरगिविंग मतलब
कि
गलतियां करोगे तो भी वो कुछ खराब नहीं होगा.
तो जनरली दे आर सेल्फ करेक्टिंग इन देयर कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स, बिकॉज उनका फ्लाइंग एनवेलप ऐसा है, उनका बिनाइन है. मतलब इस तरह की चीज़ें जो होती हैं, तो वहाँ से आप शुरुआत करते हैं एंड ग्रेजुअली यू बिल्ड अप योर स्किल्स टुवर्ड्स मोर एडवांस्ड एयरक्राफ्ट एंड मोर जो डिफिकल्ट फाइटर्स होते हैं उनको फ्लाई करने में. तो वैसे आप करते हैं. यस.
एंड हाउ वाज दैट फीलिंग फर्स्ट टाइम जब बैठ गए?
फ्लाइंग वाज इट वाज फैसिनेटिंग फॉर मी. आई थिंक वो जो 6 महीने थे वो मेरे मोस्ट मेमोरेबल पीरियड है from the NDA also, because I just absolutely enjoyed it. मुझे बहुत ही ज़्यादा fascinating लगा कि
डर नहीं
कैसे हो रहा है. शुरुआत में लगता है जब आप लैंडिंग और मतलब टेक ऑफ के टाइम पे थोड़ा सा दैट यू फील दैट, बट वही है, इट इज़ अबाउट गेटिंग यूज टू इट ना. जब आप करते हो तो वो चीज़ें ठीक हो जाती हैं. उसके बाद तो बहुत सारे ऐसे एयरक्राफ्ट आए जो कि दे वर मच फास्टर एंड बहुत सारी चीज़ें हुई. बट कहीं ना कहीं वो भरोसा भी है, बिकॉज देयर इज समबडी हु सिटिंग नेक्स्ट टू यू, जो बैठा है आपके साथ में, जो लेके जा रहा है. तो आई थिंक फ्लाइंग वाज डेफिनेटली समथिंग दैट आई रियली हिट इट ऑफ.
बट डिड यू एवर फील लाइक आई एम दैट किड कि मैं अब वो सेम स्टंट करूंगा जो मैंने बचपन में देखे थे?
तो शुरुआत में वो
किसी
नहीं
एक
नहीं
point
करने
पे.
देते हैं. शुरुआत में नहीं कर, अब तो बहुत कुछ किया उसके बाद, तो मतलब वो फीलिंग तो हमेशा से थी. तो ऑब्वियसली यू डू अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स जब आप होते हो, बट उस 6 महीने में यू आर गोइंग फॉर डुअल, सो आप वही चीज़ें करते हो जो सिखाई जा रही. बट हाँ, लेटर ऑन तो बहुत सारी ऐसी चीज़ें की हैं जो जो मतलब इच्छा थी करने की. एंड ऑफिशियली भी लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स आर ट्रेन एंड यू डू दोस थिंग्स, वो भी होती है.
Tell me the craziest thing you've done with a plane.
Craziest thing, I think fighter flying in itself is, you think about it. आप अगर सोचो तो क्या कर रहे हो? You are, strapping yourself in a seat with, fuel loaded behind you. You're lighting it on fire and you're getting it into the sky. So it is in itself a bit crazy, if I would say. But it is very dynamic. मतलब it's a lot of fun. I think best flying of my career.
क्या था उधर?
It is challenging because it is at a higher altitude. एक तो 1600-1700 मीटर के एलिवेशन पे आपका रनवे है, एंड देन यू गेट एयरबॉर्न और माउंटेन्स हैं आपके आसपास, तो यू हैव टू फ्लाई एट अ मच हायर ऑल्टीट्यूड, एंड एरोडायनेमिक्स पे फ्लाई करता है आपका एयरक्राफ्ट. सो द हायर यू गो, द लेसर यू हैव एयर, सो इट इज़ चैलेंजिंग टू फ्लाई दैट वेज. बट मोर देन दैट, वैली फ्लाइंग, दैट यू डू, जब आप वैली के अंदर जाते हैं एंड यू गेट इनसाइड द टेरेन एंड यू फ्लाई फॉलोइंग द कॉन्टूर, आई थिंक दैट इज व्हाट वाज द मोस्ट एक्साइटिंग पार्ट फॉर मी, बीइंग देयर इन श्रीनगर एंड डूइंग दैट.
क्यों ऐसे? क्योंकि then you have to be very agile.
When you're flying at, let's say, 13-14 kilometers, 35,000 feet, 38,000 feet, 40,000 feet, so you're very removed from ground. आपको कुछ भी पता नहीं चलता. Even the civil airliners that are flying at, let's say, 800 kmph, you don't even come to know, पता नहीं चलता. मैं you feel the speed when you are close to ground, जब आप बिल्कुल उसके पास, which is what happens when you are in valley flying. And more than just the being close to the ground, tactics भी हैं. आप एनिमी के वेपन सिस्टम स्टडी कर रहे हो, अपने वेपन सिस्टम स्टडी कर रहे हो, और आप एक्सप्लॉइट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो एक दूसरे को. यू आर मेकिंग अ प्लान, फिर वो प्लान बना के आप फ्लाई करने जा रहे हो, उसको प्रैक्टिस रिहर्स कर रहे हो. सो ऑल दैट बिकम्स वेरी एक्साइटिंग. इट इज़ नॉट जस्ट एक्सपीरियंशियल थिंग, इट इज़ ऑल्सो थियोरेटिकल एक्सरसाइज पहले, कि ऑन पेपर आपने कुछ डिवाइस किया, फिर आपने उसको रियलाइज़ किया, एंड देन यू गेट and go outside and then you do those things. So it becomes very, very exciting.
Like if let's say if you are the one, और आप निकल गए प्लेन से, आप पैराशूट से आप बच गए, you are safely landed, human life is saved, प्लेन गया, will you be allowed to fly again?
It will be very difficult for you to believe, but pilots don't abandon their aircraft till the time there is no option. हम नहीं छोड़ते हैं. मतलब it is instinctively very difficult for us to let go of the aircraft. Only when you really feel कि can't be saved right now, that is the only time that you
एकदम last moment पे.
Yes, it happens.
So but when it happens, उसके बाद are you allowed to fly again?
Yes, you see, it is a profession wherein there are categories of accidents. टेक्निकल फेलियर, ह्यूमन एरर, और वेदर का कोई इशू हो गया या समथिंग लाइक दैट. देयर इज आल्सो अ कैटेगरी नोन एज NOR. NOR इज अ नेचुरल ऑपरेशनल रिस्क. It is a risky place to be. Cockpit is not a safe place inherently. It is a risky place to be, and it is understood by everybody. So there are going to be situations, there are going to be challenging times when you are doing things and trying to execute something which is not easy. कभी-कभी तो होंगी चीज़ें ऐसे. कभी-कभी तो there are some system failures that happen that you can't save the aircraft. What do? You will have to eject. So with every accident, there is an inquiry that is set up. You find out the reasons and cause, and unless and until it is there is an intent to deliberately cause damage, I think which I have never seen.
That won't be a case.
And so I think if that is not the case, you do move on. And you learn from those accidents and yes,
you tested different planes.
Yes,
बहुत सारे अलग-अलग planes fly करें, right? I was reading there were different names, I couldn't even pronounce it. Tell me 3-4 best planes and compare them.
Best planes. See,
जो सबसे advanced होता है technologically या
so I was
like MiG-21, Su-30, क्या होता है?
So MiG-21 obviously is an old platform, but Indian Air Force did an upgrade in the 2000s called MiG-21 Bison, And MiG-21 Bison was a very good upgrade. It had all the elements of a modern day fighter. The problem was कि जो restriction थी in terms of airframe and fuel वो अभी भी थी, because you cannot change that. But it was a very capable platform, and was extensively used also. I primarily did my flying on MiG-21 Bison, but then Sukhoi 30s are really capable in terms of what they can do. The aerodynamics, maneuvering, everything. I think Sukhoi is a very, very capable platform that we have. I also got a chance to fly the F-16. So nice. I really like flying the F-16 as well. वो भी बहुत American F-16, yes. And it was a very interesting exposure to fly that. To tell one best aircraft, it is very difficult. And again, we have to understand that there are certain roles that you're supposed to fulfill. अभी obviously modern day में क्या होने लगा है कि aircraft are becoming more and more capable, so you can perform multiple roles in the same platform. But erstwhile जैसे कि Jaguar है जो हमारे पास, it was supposed to be a ground attack role, hitting targets on ground. For air combat, it may not be the best platform to do air combat. So the planes were designed accordingly. Today, all the planes that come, they are called multi-role. So Sukhoi can do, all the roles that is there. Now we have Rafale. Rafale can do all the roles. Now, unfortunately, I have not got a chance to fly the Rafale.
Okay.
So hopefully, I will, be able to do that soon. But any modern fighter you pick up, they are, I think.
और कोई difference नहीं होता? Like while you're flying, while you're taking off, landing.
So I think that
कुछ तो difference होता
होगा. I will tell you the difference. The difference is not more so, in terms of the platforms. It, like I said, it is also to do with what role are you looking at. Sukhoi is a heavy aircraft. It's not a light aircraft. It can carry. Rafale can also carry 10 tons, but total I think 25-26 tons is the way to that you fly. It's a huge platform, and F-16 is a smaller aircraft, and that also reflects in the agility that you have when you are flying. So these are all different concepts. Maneuverability, when you say how fast can you turn and how quickly can you turn, Sukhoi is also fantastic, at low speeds. But the agility when quickly coming in, going out, and turning around, coming back, platforms like Mirage and F-16, they are probably slightly superior off. So it depends on what is it defined for. Specialist, when you talk about, you have to be for something. So I think that is what speaks more than having a broad level distinction between the Western and the Russian side. I think.
Which one do you enjoy more?
I've really enjoyed flying the MiG-21s. Really enjoyed flying the MiG-21.
The OGs, the old ones for you.
Yes, I have enjoyed flying it. I have also done most of my flying on that. So probably, it is also
you're biased
because of that. I'm biased, but I really did enjoy flying that. I also enjoyed the F-16 flying. It was also fantastic. It was. It's a very different. It's a small stick on the side, like with conventional.
But technology-wise, do you think Americans are way ahead? Or like in planes?
I wouldn't say so.
Against Russians and French people, because we are still making.
No, with respect to us, what we are doing right now, we are obviously, going towards the 5th generation thing, but we have done a very good job with the Tejas of what we have been able to come up with. But I think that it is it's always a cat and mouse game. You make something, then you try to catch up, and it is always, moving forward in those directions. So I think you look at Rafale. Rafale is a very capable aircraft. It is not, one of the best planes that we have. In Sukhoi 57, which came in Aero India, you look at how it maneuvers. It's a delight to watch that aircraft. When you're looking from outside, you just get fascinated. So I think it would not be fair to say that who is ahead, who is behind in such things. I think it is always an evolving field, and there is always a competition that is happening. Who gets to do what. So again, I would say that there is no one plane which we can say, this is the best, because there would always be something else that is being done better in some other platform.
Yeah. Like with somewhere you will need speed, somewhere you will need agility, somewhere you would need
and
invisibility, so stuff like that, and then different planes for different things.
I don't think that it is one size fits all approach.
And then sometimes you need like this, the carrier to destroyers, B2 types.
Yes,
which we don't have.
They're very different, but they're the best at what they do. Right? So it has to do with the role of what you want to achieve with them.
Is there any plane that you want to actually try and you have not?
Right now, yeah, I would love to fly the Sukhoi 57. It's just a dream. I
Okay.
just love the way it looks and how it maneuvers. That is what it is.
Not the B-2 bombers, which are like only few people in the world can.
The flying a B2 is probably mostly straight and level. You take off from one place, and what it can do is phenomenal. But just the
flying
fun of
experience won't
flying
be
is, probably
was straightforward.
For me. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
You want the stunt for you want to play around with the toy. Like for you, it will be like that. Interesting. Okay, फिर वहाँ से क्या हुआ? अब ये academy days. ये astronaut dream कहाँ से start हो गया?
Test pilot actually happened much later.
Okay.
Test pilot you can only become once you have sufficient experience, about 1,000 hours of flying, and you have to appear for an exam. There is a written exam, there is a viva, and there is a flying exam, and then you qualify for that, and then you do a course for 1 year.
But 2,000 years flying, 2,000 hours you've flown.
I have 2,000 hours of flying now. When I was applying for test pilot, I did not have 2,000. I had slightly lesser, but more than 1,000.
Okay.
That is a requirement for you to be able to apply.
ठीक है. Test pilot होता क्या? Simple way में बताओ.
Test pilots basically, as the name suggests, they are the testers for the Indian Air Force. So anything new that happens goes through this institution called Aircraft and Systems Testing Establishment, which is in Bangalore.
And anything new that happens,
Yes.
meaning any new plane or anything else?
Yeah, anything, so anything to do with the planes. So it can be a completely new aircraft. Like all the testing for the Tejas, the LCA, has been done by test pilots. It was flown for decades with test pilots before it was released to the field. And any new weapon, let's say, is being integrated on the existing platform. Any new system is being integrated. Let's say the radio is being changed. All of that is first tested by the test pilots to the extremes, and then you create an envelope that this is the maximum that it can go to, and then you shrink that envelope slightly, and within that envelope the field pilots are going to fly. So that is what the test pilots do. So that is the primary reason that you get to fly different type of aircraft, so that you get an exposure ki how the same thing can be done in different ways, and what's the best way to do it.
तो फिर क्यों apply किया test pilot बनने के लिए?
I think after a certain period in my life, when things kind of stagnated, I was looking at now what, where do you go to?
अब next क्या है?
Move on to the
कौन सी age में लगा ये?
something. I was in Srinagar. I had seen.
Which age? How old were you?
26.
26 में बोर हो गए आप?
No, 30. I was 30. I was calculating my age. So this is 2026. And 2016 was the time when I had started preparing for this. So 10 years back. So
okay, 30. So 29-30 में बोर होने लग गए आप?
Bore means it's it's not about bore. I feel
you said it.
It is I did my course from Gwalior for the fighter combat leader, and I had gone back to the squadron, and I was I was teaching combat at that point of time. I had most of the qualifications that could be obtained. There was I would be doing that same job for next several years. That is what the progression would have happened. The responsibilities would have increased, but the nature of the job would have been kind of similar.
So then आप उधर थे and you thought कि यार मैं अपनी लाइफ के साथ क्या कर रहा हूँ, मुझे थोड़ा अब एक लेवल और आगे करना है, मुझे कुछ और करना है, right? I want to do more, I want to serve more, learn more, do something better. तो फिर क्या किया? फिर आपने टेस्ट पायलट बनने के लिए अप्लाई किया. You became test pilot.
Yeah, I gave the exam. I cracked the exam and the interview, and came to Bangalore. Bangalore में हमारा institution है वहाँ पे, and then did a course for 1 year. यहाँ पे मैंने 1 साल का course किया, and then I was serving as a test pilot with the Air Force. And again, test pilot is not combat flying, but it's a very different kind of flying. Like it's inherently risky because you're doing something new. And you're also taking the machine to their extremes at some point of time, but you're also learning a lot because you learn the designer's language. So one of the things that is taught to you when you get into the course is that by the time you pass out, you should be half engineers to the pilots and to the engineers, because there are test engineers also. It is said that you should be half pilots, so that you're able to understand the language of designers. Because if you want to make something and they make something and you are the person who's giving a feedback, you need to give it in a language that they understand.
Agreed.
So that is the major learning of this course that happens. And okay, that's also a segue why for initial space missions test pilots are chosen. Because it's an evolving mission. It is something that is under development right now. So we are able to give very valuable feedback to the designers. You know, this is not going to work, or maybe this is a better way of doing it, and then that gets absorbed in the design. That's the logical progression into this.
तो फिर अब कैसे एस्ट्रोनॉट बनने का ये
एस्ट्रोनॉट बनने का
थॉट कैसे सीड हुआ?
There wasn't a thought. There was never a
कोई थॉट नहीं था.
मैं बैंगलोर में था, 2018 में पास आउट हुआ था, एंड मैं टेस्ट पायलट की तरह आई वाज सर्विंग, डूइंग काफ़ी सारे प्रोजेक्ट चल रहे थे, और 15 अगस्त 2018 में ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर अनाउंस्ड फ्रॉम रेड फोर्ट से, उन्होंने अनाउंसमेंट की कि बहुत ही जल्द भारत का कोई बेटा या बेटी अंतरिक्ष में जाएंगे. बट मिशन गगनयान वॉज नॉट अनाउंस्ड उस समय. या प्रॉब्ली इट वॉज, आई ओनली रिमेंबर हिज स्पीच, मुझे उनकी स्पीच याद है. 2019 में समवेयर अराउंड मई जून के आसपास दिस सिग्नल केम टू दी AST, बिकॉज मैंने बताया ना कि वो टेस्ट पायलट्स वो चाहिए होते हैं. तो AST इज़ द प्लेस जहाँ पे सारे टेस्ट पायलट्स रहते हैं. पूरे एयरफोर्स में भी हैं, बट दैट्स द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन फ्रॉम वेयर वी पास आउट. तो वहाँ पे सिग्नल आया कि टेस्ट पायलट्स आर रिक्वेस्टेड टू अप्लाई, दीज आर द QRs, ये रिक्वायरमेंट है, आप ये पढ़िए, और अगर आप मीट कर रहे हैं तो आप इसके लिए अप्लाई करिए. सो उस समय आई वॉज नॉट मीटिंग, मेरा एक QR इनकम्प्लीट था. उनको 2 years का फ्लाइट एक्सपीरियंस चाहिए था एज टेस्ट पायलट. मेरा 1 ही साल हुआ था, 1 साल प्लस हुआ था. सो आई वॉज काइंड ऑफ हार्ट ब्रोकन कि इतना पास आके कि ये मौका है एंड मैं अप्लाई नहीं कर पाऊंगा. एंड आई वेंट बैक होम. मैं अपनी वाइफ के साथ में काफ़ी डिस्कस किया कि वेदर आई शुड अप्लाई, नहीं अप्लाई, ये जो भी है बातचीत की, हमने डिसीजन लिया. एंड शी वॉज द वन हु सजेस्टेड. उसने बोला कि ये कब 40 साल, मतलब 40 तो नहीं हुए थे उस समय, बिकॉज 1984 में राकेश शर्मा सर हैड गॉन. बट शी सेड कि इतने सालों बाद ये ऐसा एक मौका है, आई डोंट थिंक कि इसकी वजह से तो यू शुड गिव अप, कोशिश तो करनी चाहिए. तो यू नो मैं अगले दिन गया, मैंने चेक किया सबसे अपने, मेरे जो सीनियर अफसर थे, कमांडिंग अफसर थे उस समय, वो सी, मैं उनके पास गया, मैंने बोला कि सर ये मुझे ठीक नहीं लगता है कि अगर इसकी वजह से ना मैं अप्लाई नहीं कर सकते. तो उन्होंने हंसते हुए बोला कि तुम्हें लगता है कि कोई भी ये पढ़ रहा है, सबने अप्लाई किया है, तुम भी करो अप्लाई. मैंने भी अप्लाई किया, ही सेड कि मैंने भी किया, मैं तो इसमें आधे नहीं मीट कर रहा हूँ, पर मैंने किया. सो आई थिंक दैट वाज द एक्साइटमेंट उस समय. इट वाज नॉट अ कॉन्शियस थॉट, द ओनली कॉन्शियस थॉट वाज द डिस्कशन दैट आई हैड. मैंने जो डिस्कशन अपनी वाइफ के साथ में किया, बिकॉज यू नो गेटिंग इनटू दिस, इसमें जाने का मतलब था कि इट वुड मीन अ डिफरेंट लाइफ, इट वुड बी अ डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ कमिटमेंट, है ना. तो इट्स नॉट ओनली माई कमिटमेंट, इट इज़ माई फैमिलीज कमिटमेंट ऑल्सो. सो दैट डिस्कशन वॉज इंपॉर्टेंट. सो वो बात हुई हमारी. बट उसके अलावा आई डोंट थिंक कि ऐसा कोई कॉन्शियस थॉट था कि जाना है कि नहीं जाना. आई थिंक इट वॉज always there under the surface, and as soon as the opportunity जैसे ही वो आई, वो instinctively I applied. और उसमें तो पता भी नहीं था कि कि whether you will get through, not get through it. The excitement was कि ये मौका मिल रहा है, कि इसमें जाने का there is a chance कि हम इसमें जा सकते हैं.
तो क्या मिशन था, क्या आपको अनाउंसमेंट क्या आया?
गगनयान मिशन, जो इंडिया का ह्यूमन स्पेस मिशन है, उसकी अनाउंसमेंट आई थी. उसके लिए 4 एस्ट्रोनॉट्स सेलेक्ट करने थे इंडिया से एंड टेस्ट पायलट्स के पूल में से सेलेक्ट करने थे. सो एप्लीकेशन हैड टू गो. उसके बाद फिर वो प्रोसेस शुरू हुआ सिलेक्शन का, फिजिकल, मेडिकल, साइकोलॉजिकल, पूरा लंबा. बट वो एप्लीकेशन पहला स्टेप था. तो उसके लिए ये आया था. एंड जो भी ये 4 सेलेक्ट होते, ये डेप्यूटेशन पे इसरो में जाते, जो इंडियन स्पेस रिसर्च ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है वहाँ पे.
तो फिर आपने अप्लाई किया, अब आप इसमें सिलेक्ट हो गए.
यस.
कौन इस पूरी सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस में कुछ टफ था?
अब सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस काफ़ी टफ था एक्चुअली. मुझे
क्या होती सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस?
सो सी, आप जब सेलेक्ट कर रहे हैं किसी एस्ट्रोनॉट को स्पेस में भेजने के लिए, तो यू चेक फॉर फिजिकल फिटनेस, दैट इज़ वन, पहला है. फिर मेडिकल फिटनेस, जो कि शायद काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है उसका. बट तीसरा इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है साइकोलॉजिकल फिटनेस, बिकॉज ये एनवायरनमेंट जो है ये नॉर्मल नहीं है. ये मतलब आपको लंबे समय तक ऐसी जगहों पे रहना है जो शायद आपके लिए मेंटली बहुत चैलेंजिंग होंगे. आप ऐसी सिचुएशन में जाएंगे जो बहुत फ्रस्ट्रेटिंग होंगी. तो हाउ डू यू कोप अप, आप कैसे ऐसी सिचुएशन से कैसे डील करते हैं, कैसे रहते हैं, टीम में कैसे काम करते हैं, ये सारे एस्पेक्ट्स हैं, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाते हैं। तो ये भी एक बहुत बड़ा हिस्सा था सिलेक्शन का। बट मेडिकल फिटनेस का जो लेवल था वो आई हैड नो आइडिया कि इतने टेस्ट भी होते हैं, इतने मेडिकल टेस्ट भी होते हैं, ये मुझे पता नहीं था। बट इट वाज वेरी एक्सटेंसिव।
क्या टेस्ट हुए सबसे
क्या
fascinating क्या
हमने जून में सिलेक्शन शुरू किया था एंड फरवरी में फाइनली खत्म हुआ सिलेक्शन, जनवरी एंड।
तो क्या क्या टेस्ट हुए?
बेसिक नॉर्मल जितने भी पैरामीटर्स हैं आप वो तो
ब्लड मार्कर्स,
बायोमार्कर्स इज राइट, बट आई थिंक आई कैन से मैं ये दो वायल्स जो हम ब्लड लेते हैं ना, सो एक टाइम पे टू ऑल्सो इंश्योर कि आप कहीं गलत टेस्ट रिजल्ट नहीं आ रहा है, इट यूज टू बी ट्रिप्लिकेटेड और यू नो आई थिंक ट्रिप्लिकेटेड इन डिफरेंट लैब्स। इट यूज टू
तो 3 अलग-अलग लैब्स पे
अलग में
हर बार
सैंपल जाते थे। तो एक टाइम पे I don't want to exaggerate, but I think 35 to 40 vials were taken at a time.
40 वायल ब्लड टेस्ट के लिए निकालते थे
जी,
हर थोड़े दिन में।
उस पीरियड में हर समय इतना नहीं होता था, बट दिस इज द मैक्सिमम दैट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट एट अ पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम। एंड चैलेंज ये था कि इवन द डॉक्टर्स ऑल्दो बहुत एक्सपीरियंस्ड हमारे वहाँ पे डॉक्टर्स हैं इन द इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ एरोस्पेस मेडिसिन इन बैंगलोर, बट उनको भी नहीं मालूम था कि हमें क्या ढूंढना है, व्हाट डू वी लुक फॉर टू सेलेक्ट समवन फॉर स्पेस, राइट। लिटरेचर सर्वे में यू हैव ओनली सो मच, सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन अवेलेबल नहीं होती है, तो काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें प्रिकॉशनरी भी की जा रही थी। तो उस टाइम पे ये चीज़ें बहुत लंबे समय।
और क्या क्या टेस्ट होते हैं, लाइक लेट्स से बायोमार्कर्स के अलावा व्हाट काइंड ऑफ टेस्ट डिड दे डू इफ दे टोल्ड यू?
I do know, but I am saying कि वो बहुत एक लंबा लिस्ट है। So starting from your bone health to your heart health to your what kind of muscle tissue that you have to your dental health. Dental health was एक बहुत बड़ा एक एस्पेक्ट था जो कि बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट था कि डेंटल हेल्थ की वजह से भी काफ़ी सारे रिजेक्शंस हुए थे उस टाइम पे।
टिश्यू हेल्थ मतलब क्या होता है? मसल टिश्यू क्या करते हैं?
How much do you have?
Okay.
How much do you have? It is so there are some things जो कि परमानेंट आपको अनफिट करती हैं और जो कुछ चीज़ें हैं जो कि टेम्परेरी अनफिट करती हैं। एन्यूरिज्म वाज वन थिंग दैट वाज बीइंग चेक्ड। ब्रेन में अगर कुछ भी छोटी सी भी चीज़ है तो उसकी टॉलरेंसेस जो चीज़ें नॉर्मल होती हैं यहाँ पे ग्राउंड में, बिकॉज इट हैज़ बीन एक्सपीरियंस कि लोगों को होती हैं फिर भी कुछ नहीं होता, वो चीज़ें हाईलाइट हो जाती हैं बिकॉज ऑफ द वे दे रिएक्ट इन माइक्रोग्रेविटी। अगर छोटा सा कुछ चीज़ है वो यहाँ पे फ्लेयर अप नहीं कर रहा है बट प्रॉबेबली वहाँ पे करेगा, सो दोज थिंग्स बिकम इम्पॉर्टेंट। सो इसलिए वो जो चेंज था वो हमारे डॉक्टर्स भी समझ रहे थे, हम भी समझ रहे थे। इट वॉज एन इवॉल्विंग प्रोसेस फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस, सबके लिए।
एंड देन तो ये मेडिकल हो गया, फिजिकल हो गया, फिर फिजिकल तो आप क्रॉस कर दियोगे, बहुत इजी होगा वो।
बहुत इजी नहीं था, बट हाँ ट्रेनिंग के साथ में यू कुड क्रॉस देम, बट दे वर डिसेंट। मतलब ऐसा नहीं था कि आप किसी एक दिन आप सोचेंगे और
हो जाएगा, नहीं, तो यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर फॉर इट। क्या डिफिकल्ट था?
सम ऑफ देम वर जैसे कि 5K अंडर 24 मिनट्स यू हैड टू रन, फिर 11 पुलअप्स, देन पुशअप्स वर आई थिंक 30 ऑड पुशअप्स वर देयर, देन वो शटल फॉर एजिलिटी, देन 50 मीटर स्प्रिंट का एक टेस्ट था, ब्रॉड जंप का आई डोंट रिमेंबर द फिगर कि क्या है, ये सारी चीज़ें थी। और स्विमिंग वाज अ क्राइटेरिया, तो
मैन और वुमेन डजंट मैटर, दे हैव टू डू द सेम
सिमिलर टेस्ट फॉर देम। यस, उनका सेम ही है दोनों का। We have evolved. वही सेम चीज़ ना। So because we went and we did with Russians, we also went with and did with the Americans. So there is a difference in philosophy of how they do it.
Okay.
So हमने evolve किया कि हमें चाहिए क्यों, मतलब rational has to be clear कि why, like let's say just putting a number is not enough ना, कि हमें क्यों चाहिए। So we tried to answer that. हमने वो कोशिश की कि हम requirement भी दें कि ये है हमारे reason. So इसकी वजह से काफ़ी चीज़ें थोड़ा सा कम हो गई in terms of requirement, but everything has a now scientific rational behind it कि this is the reason we are doing it. हम इसलिए कर रहे हैं। जैसे VO2 max की अगर एक भी requirement है तो उसकी rational क्या है, क्यों चाहिए आपको इतना VO2 max? So if you put it down on paper, you realize कि हाँ maybe the requirement may not be as much, but इतना होगा तो हमारे लिए sufficient है। See, the rational is that you have to be physically fit for the role that you're going to
of
do,
course,
right? वो requirement है। And the age bracket is also such that there is somebody very young who can be an astronaut, there is somebody with of a higher age also who can be an astronaut. So you cannot just base it on this. the experience also matters. So there's a huge matrix that is created, and everything has got a point. So your physical fitness, your the experience that you have, all of that counts, and then you finally get one number, which is whether you're going to be going for mission. Everything makes a difference.
And psychology test में क्या क्या होता है?
Psychological tests were very interesting. बहुत सारे हुए, बहुत सारे forms भरे हमने, बहुत सारी group exercises हुई. But सबसे interesting part जो था वो probably एक isolation exercise थी, जिसमें 7 दिन के लिए हम 3 लोगों को जो उस समय selected थे, उनको एक छोटे से रूम में we were confined for 7 days. No clock, no artificial, no natural light. बाहर से totally cut off. So आपको समय का कोई idea भी नहीं था कि क्या है. Food was not a problem, but food was as per your requirement. जब भूख लग रही है तब आप बोलो and you'll be given food. इस तरह का था. And then we were given very mundane exercises like जैसे origami, 1000 pieces origami एक बार में बनाना है. Ship building exercise करनी है, मतलब वो wood chip कर करके and you have to make a ship, like very monotonous things that take time. So इस तरह की चीज़ें we continue to do for 7 days, in that. And the room was probably just this table and थोड़ा सा और जोड़ के इस wall तक, ऐसा एक 3 bunk beds on the side, and that was the room we had.
कब पता चला आपको कि जब आप select हो गए हो?
For the mission.
Like तीनों टेस्ट क्लियर हो गए, now you're the one who's gonna go on the mission.
Okay, so ये stages में हुआ. जब हम select हुए थे पहले तो हम 4 हुए थे. 4 of us got selected, and immediately upon our selection we went to Russia for a training. वो 2020 में था.
Okay.
And we were there for about 14 months. We trained there.
और क्या ट्रेन करते थे रशिया में?
So basics of space flight, basic astronaut training होती है, जिसमें कि आपको थ्योरी पढ़ाई जाती है स्पेस फ्लाइट के बारे में, आपको सर्वाइवल ट्रेनिंग दी जाती है, आपको एक जैसे कैप्सूल है सोयूज जो है वहाँ पे, आप उस पर ट्रेनिंग करते हैं. यू बिकम अ क्वालिफाइड पायलट फॉर सोयूज, so that you learn the systems.
Soyuz is capsule of Russia,
जिसमें कि एस्ट्रोनॉट्स जाते हैं. So उनके रॉकेट का भी नाम सोयूज है एक्चुअली, मतलब थोड़ा कंफ्यूजिंग है.
I have 2 last things to talk about. One is आपने जैसे अपने फ्यूचर सेल्फ को लेटर लिखा था, वैसे अब एक आपने लेटर लिखा है जो है लेटर टू माई 14-year-old सेल्फ. तो जो वो बच्चे ने देखा था आसमान में, उसके लिए भी आपने एक लेटर लिखा है. What is this letter about?
This letter is about that same thing, that when I was 14-year-old, in my wildest dream or imagination, I could not have imagined this life for myself. Confidence ही नहीं था उस समय ये सोचने का कि maybe life is going to turn out like this. And वो belief, वो faith नहीं था, कि that things are going to eventually end up happening this way. So this letter is not only to my 14-year-old self. This letter is probably to every 14-year-old or every 12-year-old who is there in India today. That have faith, have belief that things have a way of working out. Have not believe in yourself that you will make it happen. But just the belief that things will work out. Have that faith, and keep working towards it. Because some tendency होती है when we are of that age, that we tend to measure our life in minutes rather than the years that are going to follow. उस समय लगता है कि अभी सब कुछ हो गया, अब one exam just goes wrong and you feel कि अब क्या, अब तो like let's say if you don't get into some college right after class 12, you feel what now, life is just gone. It doesn't work out like that. There is a long lengthy years ahead of you, and life has a way of working out if you believe in that, right? That is what my intent was behind writing this letter.
That life will work out, don't worry.
Life will work out. Don't give up trying. Always, we should always keep on trying and have faith and believe that things will work out, and have faith in things generally. That is what I would like to give a message to every kid. Yes.
See, we talked about your story, your journey, your wisdom, advices, experiences, fascinating things you observed, the things you've written in your book, your relationship, how your parents and family reacted, everything, right? After all of this, I want to know one thing. This is the last question, which I ask almost every guest these days, is what is one advice nobody should follow? कोई घटिया एडवाइस दी हो किसी ने और वो किसी को फॉलो नहीं करनी चाहिए.
दो चीज़ें बोलूँगा। एक तो एक ये एडवाइस है कि कि इतना आसान नहीं है, या फिर इट्स नॉट सो सिंपल। दिस इज नेवर एवर फॉलो दिस एडवाइस।
कि बेकार एडवाइस ही है।
ये बिल्कुल बेकार एडवाइस है मेरे हिसाब से, कि इट्स नॉट सो सिंपल, इट इज़ नॉट सो इजी, यू डोंट नो, इट्स नॉट सो सिंपल। ये वाली जो एडवाइस है, या आई थिंक दैट दिस इज वन ऑफ द वर्स्ट एडवाइसेस दैट इज आउट देयर, बिकॉज इट डिस्करेजेस अ लॉट ऑफ people to even pursue something. It is simple. The minute you get into something, you may put your head around it. It is simple. It can be done. आपको बस लगे रहना है,
हो जाएगा,
कोशिश करने, हो जाएगा। ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं होगा। If somebody, like I said, no, if somebody can do it, you can also do it. Yeah, that is what the belief has to be there. So I don't think that this is the right advice in any which ways. It is not a good advice at all. And the second thing is, it has also happened that sometimes when I have tried to set up my ambition, which probably was much larger for that place, I don't know for whom, but for somebody, I have been told that कि अरे पहले इतना तो करो फिर देखेंगे आगे, मतलब पहले scale it down, पहले इसको तो करो फिर we will see that. And that is second thing that I would say कि don't,
bad advice, worst advice, don't follow.
Advice. Yeah, these are two things I would say.
True. Mine is similar. Like every time I ask this question in my head, I answer it myself. And the worst advice in the world is be practical. That's
similar.
I was like, be dreamy, be delusional, because तभी कुछ होगा. Practical लोगों ने कुछ नहीं किया लाइफ में बड़ा. जिसने बड़ा किया ना, ऐसे काम किया, उसने डिल्यूजनल और ड्रीम्स देख के ही बड़े काम किए. प्रैक्टिकल होते तो जाते ही नहीं, करते ही नहीं.
Practical is a substitute for basically scaling down your ambitions. I think it is not, everything is practical. Anything that ends up happening is practical. That is why it ends up happening.
Yeah.
So if somebody is saying that be practical at the time of conception of the idea, is just telling you to scale down your ambition.
Only a person who's suffocated by an unlived dream tells you to be practical.
Wow. Interesting. कितनी बार सोचा था ये पहले?
नहीं, अभी निकला.
Very nice.
But thank you so much for coming here. It was absolute joy and pleasure, and it's my honor to actually sit in front of you. Thank you so much for coming here. Thank you.
It was a joy and delight to be here, and I really enjoyed the conversation with you.
Hi Raj, how are you?
Very good, sir. Pleasure meeting you. How are you?
Meeting you as well, and I was told you're not keeping well.
थोड़ा सा, just little bad my हालत है.
Thank you for doing
Please.
it. and
Hurry, no.
So happy to.
Please, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Please have a seat.
You have done a fantastic job, and actually, I thought I wanted to start with that. No, I feel proud looking at what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
It is because you always saw these podcasts and platforms, global personalities coming to them, but you've changed that. You put India on that map, that we have people on this. So I feel very proud that
Thank
what
you
you're
so
doing.
much. Thank
It's
you.
very fantastic.
That's what little effort is about.
Yes.
Can we actually take India's soft power and give it a world table?
Absolutely, it is required. And more than that, ना वो जो सोच है ना, that in your mind when it comes, कि okay, ये हो सकता है, this is also possible. That is very important. That is what is going to give courage to the next generation.
Agreed.
All of this is possible.
Agreed. Thank you so much ये एपिसोड एंड तक देखने के लिए. अब आपको 3 चीज़ें करनी है. नंबर 1, इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लो ताकि हम इसी तरह और ज़्यादा वैल्यूएबल गेस्ट आपके लिए लेके आ पाएँ एंड हम वो उनसे क्वेश्चंस पूछ पाएँ जो आप चाहते हो. नंबर 2, मुझे कमेंट्स में ये बताओ कि आप और कौन कौन से गेस्ट हैं जो देखना चाहते हो हमारे पॉडकास्ट पे, ताकि हम उन्हें लेके आएँ और उनसे वो सवाल पूछें जो आप चाहते हो. एंड नंबर 3, ये एपिसोड किसी एक इंसान के साथ ज़रूर शेयर करना जिसकी लाइफ में एक पॉजिटिव चेंज आएगा, क्योंकि एक कॉन्वर्सेशन इनफ होती है किसी की लाइफ चेंज करने के लिए. I'll see you next time. Until then, keep figuring out.